Metters Lumber True Value has everything you need, with locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville, and you can shop online at metterslumber.com. Metters Lumber True Value.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you stuck in a paper jam of printer prices? Paper cuts from budget cuts? Don't throw in the towel. Call Dixie Digital Imaging and dive into our new and used inventory blowout. We're slashing prices on top-of-the-line Xerox, Brother, and Epson printers and multifunction devices. Gently used or brand new models that are tired of being in our warehouse. Don't miss out on these deals. Call 479-783-6600 for more details. Quantities and availability are limited. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Tonight, we will see an increase in the cloud cover across the north. Slight chance of a shower or storm. Overnight lows in the low to mid 70s. We'll see hit or miss showers or storms on Friday. Otherwise, sunny skies, a high in the mid to upper 90s. Saturday, chance of showers and storms back in the 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 13 days.
I thought he played well and wasn't as accurate with the ball as what he had been. His protection wasn't as good either, so that has something to do with it.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live on your favorite radio station, hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app.
Don't say it's a fine morning or I'll shoot you.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
I'm a peacock! You gotta let me fly!
And Tommy Kraft.
They're gonna go nuts when he hits this thing.
Light the candle!
Produced by Christian Johnston.
How about this, devil?
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Let's stand up and call those hall!
And we welcome you in to a Football Friday edition of the Morning Rush. Less than 2 weeks out from the Arkansas Razorbacks taking on UAPB. The final big scrimmage for the Hogs yesterday. Sam Pitman thoroughly displeased. You could tell in the press conference it went shorter than usual. Weren't a ton of positives to talk about offensively, it seemed like. Tommy, 8 interceptions for the offense, combination of Talon Green and others. Just not a great day for that side of the football, it sounds like.
You know, they sometimes control the narrative by controlling the practice. I don't think any coach anywhere has ever set up a practice plan to control the narrative with 8 interceptions. So, yeah, you could feel the tension's not the right word, but feel the frustration, I guess maybe is the better word.
Yeah, I get it from Coach Pittman's side. Like you said, there's no conceivable way on God's green earth that a coach wants, for any reason, not to get the defense confident, not to shake up his offense and make sure they get back into it. No one wants 8 picks, but that's apparently what happened yesterday. Now, there's some rampant rumors on social media that it was all Talon Green. That is not the case. It was a combination of others. I know people run wild with someone says something and then someone takes something with it. That was explained yesterday. We're going to get a chance to talk with Richard Davenport a little bit about recruiting, but we'll also touch on the fall camp with that. Again, that's like the final big scrimmage as we were talking with Trey Biddy about yesterday, so you're not exactly going out on a high note, Tommy.
Well, and the good news is maybe you've had your worst day in that regard. I guess if you want to look at the silver lining of a dark cloud of a scrimmages, your defense was bringing pressure. Coach talked about that one when Talon Green was a tip pass that was intercepted early in the practice. As you pointed out, this was not 8 Talon Green interceptions, but I guess who was it? Metcalf, I think, got that first one. I think Coach said
he got 2 yesterday.
Did he? Yeah. But point being is when you you did have some very, good positives on defense. Clearly pressure was coming. They talked about Landon Jackson, and I know we're going to get into a lot of the audio of that, but, there's some positives to take out of this because your defense had a pretty good day, it sounds like.
Yep. If you want to react, not just to that, we got plenty of other things to get to here on a Football Friday. Do so 877-377-6963. I'm going to do my best to try and convince Tommy to get into fantasy this morning. As we're at the fantasy cap of the world here in Tawny Town. Tommy, we got here.
People come from all over the world to do fantasy drafts in Tawny Town.
Let me tell you something. You have some excess cash from time to time that you can spend
Don't tell my wife.
certain things. You need to buy yourself an Airbnb complex. We show up. This thing, Tommy, has a pool. It's got like 4 or 5 different not cabins, but like nicer. I'm in this little small facility right now, but I've decided as of last night and this morning that you need to buy an Airbnb compound in Arkansas, that we should go on company retreats there.
Yeah. And how do I make money doing that? Giving them away for free.
Airbnb it on the non-weekends. That's the basis of the platform of Airbnb.
I've got a couple buddies that have done very well with a fleet of Airbnbs. I don't know. We're wandering off here, but you can't have just one. You got to have enough to enough in an area to have a staff so you can turn them over. But and you got to have enough tourism around you.
I feel like it's feast or famine with those things. But you stay when you go on trips and stuff, Tommy. You are just a hotel guy. You're the plain Jane hotel.
Yeah.
There's
nothing plain Jane about it.
No, they're fancy.
Nothing plain Jane about it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we've got, again, plenty to discuss this morning. Like I said, I'm going to try and get Tommy to jump on the fantasy train. There's a couple notable NFL injuries that have already happened. You're kind of wondering about Patrick Kutas' injury a little bit. Coach Pitman touched on that a little bit yesterday as well. Sometime this morning, we're going to talk about your least favorite injury with Arkansas football, the one that you just thought was painful to you personally. Maybe not during the course of a game, and I'm not talking about the actual gravity of the injury, but just maybe the effect it had on a season. I think there's plenty of those that we can remember, unfortunately. For Vikings fans, Tommy, I think it's the first time since 1967 that a rookie quarterback won't play a single snap this season that was projected to. J.J. McCarthy, former Michigan quarterback, out for the year.
Well, and that's what everyone's trying to avoid is having these preseason injuries. We talked about Razorbacks, and they held some guys out of the scrimmage a week ago. And, you're always trying to avoid derailing the season or, starting on the wrong foot with an injury coming out of your camp. So this is the worst news. And like I said, I can think of one or two that come to mind that are Razorback related over the last 20 years or so.
Yeah.
This is like a fan's worst nightmare. Star player injured, out for the year before the season even gets here. I can't think of many worst case scenarios other than last year Aaron Rodgers game 1, like play 4 or whatever it was, play 5, season-ending injury. That might be even more painful.
Yeah,
the way that one played out last year for Jets fans.
And that's the national one that I kind of thought about. Some of the ones that I thought about, as you said, here in Fayetteville, were Nile Davis. I know Marcus Monk played through 07, but he wasn't the same guy. Greg Childs, kind of same way. Some of the guys could play through certain injuries, but you could tell it really derailed the height of their season. For Nile, didn't get to play in 2011, which we saw what he did in 2010. It was just a bummer. There's plenty of others, unfortunately. We've talked about before how you lost 3 quarterbacks and not had to go grab John Rutledge or whoever had to go Rutledge on the field. I mean, sometimes you just you can't anticipate it, and it just happens. And during the course of a football season, you're just kind of knocking. You said the most important thing of fall camp, and you're 100% right. It's just to get out injury free. And there's been quite
critical injuries,
yeah,
at least.
And
so.
You mentioned the last scrimmage where guys. You also one of the other reasons I don't think the offense looked to sink is Broden and Armstrong, another guy or two, Kutas, like they weren't participating. Yep. So when you don't have your best offense players out there and they're occasionally going against the best defense, the defense is going to win that battle. Just shouldn't be 8 interceptions.
Yeah, but that speaks to the quality of your depth. That if those are the reasons you were out of sync, it it speaks to where you're at in your preparation. I mean, there's several things we can unwind here as we move through the morning. But if 2 or 3 injuries, and listen, it's hard to keep it running on the rails when you got 3 critical injuries in any unit. I get that. There's a reason those players are starters, but it also speaks to where you're at with your depth as well.
It needs to stay put right now because you can't. Before we talked to Trey Biddy a little bit yesterday, he pointed out 1 or 2 guys that you cannot afford to lose this season. You haven't lost them yet, but I think he was pretty clear on the gravity of 2 individuals in Landon Jackson and Fernando Carmona that are pivotal to your team this fall. And you like some of the other running backs in that room, but Jaquindon's the top dog, and Carmona, even as a transfer, might be the top dog of that offensive line. So hopefully those guys stay healthy throughout the season.
Hey, whether you're going to be fishing some jetties on the Arkansas River this weekend, maybe working some laydowns on Beaver or Washita or Table Rock, make sure you have the Heddon Super Spook Jr. with you. It's the topwater bait for summer bass. The Super Spook Jr. is the smaller version of the world's most famous topwater lure. The Spook is the original, what your grandfather would have called the walk the dog lure, and it's been tricking big bass for almost 100 years. Find it at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores everywhere. It's the Heddon Super Spook Jr.
So funny enough, today is National Kool-Aid Day. So I want to know in just a bit when we return what you're actually drinking about this football team. What do you actually think is going to come to fruition? Now, I will give the coaching staff this. Marcus Woodson said it. Travis Williams said it, and then even yesterday, Sam Pitman said it about the linebacker. So we'll play that audio clip and a few others from coaches. We return here on a Football Friday, 13 days out from the Razorbacks season opener against UAPB.
This is Football Friday on the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
It was a very good conversation, Ty.
This is the Morning Rush.
Over 11,000 off on remaining 2023 GMC Sierras, or up to 7,000 off on remaining GMC Yukon XLs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. These are the largest factory discounts in years, so hurry before they're gone. Plus up to 6,500 off on in-stock 2024 GMC Sierras. Conquer the road with confidence in a GMC Sierra from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Are you interested in saving money on your heating bills and upgrading your home's energy efficiency? Now's the time. Installing or upgrading to natural gas allows you to take advantage of high-efficiency appliances that save energy and money. From furnaces to water heaters to gas dryers and fireplaces, there's a natural gas option to fit your home and your budget. What's not to love about that? Don't wait. Call AOG today at 800-842-5690 or visit AOGC.com to learn more. AOG, energy for life.
Waiting on someone to bale your hay? Come in to Gray Brothers Equipment and let us show you how affordable only your own Kubota hay equipment can be. Bale your hay when it's ready, not when it's burned up. With economical pricing at Gray Brothers and affordable interest rates from Kubota, this year is the year to bale your own hay. That's Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, You'll never get a lemon.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make Awake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make Awake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make Awake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make Awake Bait and Tackle.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Tommy Krychek, thank you guys for your support, and go Hogs.
Franks pulls it back, surveys, has plenty of time. Now he unloads, got a man. Arkansas first down. Arkansas touchdown! Traylon Burks covers 59 yards with a dance at the end.
Please rate and review the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Give us 5 stars to help us get our content out to the rest of the Razorback family. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
And we welcome you back here in the Morning Rush Football Friday. Coach Pitman, we're going to hear from him coming up momentarily. He had plenty of thoughts to say yesterday. He's been relatively positive this offseason, Tommy, and even question about his job status and this upcoming season. Yesterday, you could tell it was not one of those days.
And, hey, we all have bad days at work. We all have days where things don't go as we have them planned. Ours just don't live out as publicly oftentimes like Coach Pittman's did yesterday for sure. Hey, you mentioned you were in Tawnytown, the what'd you say, the fantasy football capital of the world?
Fantasy football capital of the world,
well,
Tommy.
Right down the road, not very far, a stone's throw from where you're at. It's our friends at Wheels RV. They're 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. If you look underneath the Tawnytown Water Tower, that's right pretty much where you'll find Wheels RV. Grand Design, Forest River, Brinkley's, many other brands with the best features. I always say the best buttons because I want a button that does something. The slide outs. Maybe opens up the folds down the bed. I'm a button and gadget guy, so give me some buttons, give me some TVs, give me some outdoor kitchen. They've got all that at Wheels RV. They help you make those family memories, and that's what they can do for you. Lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell. Great parts and service department, body shop for any need afterwards. It's all at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72, near the fantasy football capital of the world. 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
We got to incorporate the fantasy football capital of the world now in their read every time. Chris,
how in the world did y'all come up with y'all normally try to go to exotic places and get 8 guys in a hot tub together. How in the world did y'all come up with?
Our commissioner got his wife pregnant for the second time, so he has to be close to home, and we kind of caved. That's when you get older and kids are popping out left and right. That is why. That is the sole reason.
Been there, done that.
We have stayed here around. So, but it's still honestly, Tom. I'll send you.
You can have some good spaghetti this weekend.
Yes, we can, and I can stop by. You think Chris and Lee J and their team will let us rent an RV? We got 14 dudes here, so we can get around everywhere.
Yeah, I mean if that's what you needed to do. So sounds like you got your accommodations covered, though.
Yes, but we'll be bopping around Northwest Arkansas. I did get a text on me. There was a fan or two that listened to us that was at the Travelers game, or excuse me, the Naturals game last night.
Yeah, I saw a few pictures. It wasn't a full house, but I mean, hey, it's not often you get to see a talent. I know it's a rehab project, but a talent the level of Verlander. So sounds like a few more than normal showed up for that last night.
Yep. All right, so I mentioned before we went to break, National Kool-Aid Day. And I'm still not drinking it just yet when it comes to Arkansas linebackers. But I will say this, even Coach Pitman said something similar to Coach Woodson and Coach Williams yesterday.
I think we're pretty good, and I think we're deep, with Dix and Switzer. And then you have Spence and Sawyer. Sawyer's had a great week. Spence did too. They're both really good. Well, they're all four good players. I like our depth there. We'll wait and see till the games come, but I think we're in pretty darn good shape right there.
Not once, not twice, but 3 different coaches this week have said that about the linebackers. So maybe I need.
Did anyone ask Patrino about the linebackers? Do we have any audio on Patrino and the linebackers? That would seal the deal, right?
Yes, that would. If he said it,
if he said it, man, those are some of the best linebackers I've ever seen. Then
if the fan base was like, we got all Americans at that position. No, you're right on that. But that is something I think that people might be starting to drink on the Kool-Aid here a little bit.
Speaking of Patrino, I was at the stadium shop seeing Robert a couple days ago, and they got a box in while I was there, and he was unpacking that box.
Oh, does it beat?
Yeah, the BMFP shirts are back, baby.
All right.
And I said, why'd you bring those in? He goes, popular demand. People been asking for them, so he's got the BMFP shirts.
I mean, Tommy, just think about the basketball game when they introduced him and various, when that thing came out, between the neck braces, the BMFP shirts, and various other Patrino apparel. That was something a lot of people sported back in the day.
Do we need let me get this right. Do we need a JMFC shirt for later in the year?
Hold on, let me think about this. Big C, you might have to help me.
Well, it's 4 letters.
James, I have no idea. What
John Calipari. JMFC.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe we'll need one of them. I'm hoping so.
I mean, I've seen the Cal, the Hogs. We kind of joked about the cliche phrases that came in when that started, but yes, you will see plenty of Cal gear. There's no question about it.
I don't know that it'll be like Patrino gear though.
No, I saw John Rothstein, Tommy. I mean, again, you don't pay you've been outspoken about this. You don't pay attention as much to the preseason rankings. I saw Rothstein had Arkansas second in the SEC. Now, just a reminder, the Razorbacks were picked, I think, third.
In basketball, that is, folks. Let's make sure we're clear what we're talking about here.
Yeah. Just a reminder, Arkansas was picked third last year. Different team, different coach. I think you're really different. But I think to transition to basketball real quick, the thing about Cal, Tommy, and I know there hasn't been postseason success the last 5 years in Lexington. And listen, I was lambasting him for that. And if there's no postseason success the next 5 years, I'm going to be pretty critical, because the whole reason of hiring him is to not just do what Eric Musselman did in that 3-year stint, but to expand on that. But you look at where they finished in the Southeastern Conference, like more often than not, it was like top 3 or 4 every year, if not like first or second. So I think Arkansas fans, I don't know if it's fair enough to expect them to finish like first or second this season, but I think a top 5 finish is very much on the table.
Back to the linebackers, though, it is a consistent theme through what defensive coaches are saying. Like I said, now we just heard from Coach a second ago on that. Yep. I don't know if it's a foundation necessarily for this defense. I still think you best be worthy up front. You better be average at worst up front to be a good defense. But that front 7, and maybe front 8 at times this year, as we've heard. You better be pretty darn good together as a unit, and that's what I see as the possibility, particularly when your frontline guys are in there working together, and I know there will be a rotation on that line. Mm-hmm. You got a chance to be a pretty good front 6, front 7.
Tommy, how about Landon Jackson? Now, these were, just to be clear, these were just touch stats. We're not throwing QBs to the ground, and he had 3 sacks yesterday.
And in a TFL, too.
Yeah, I think sometimes that when you get a little older and you're an outstanding player, some guys take days off and stuff, but Landon doesn't seem to be doing that. You've heard from his coaches. You've heard from him. He knows he has a chance to be a first-round draft pick.
Why is he back?
Yeah. Because
Why did he not leave after last year?
Because he wants to be a higher and
because his draft stock wasn't where he wanted it to be. Correct. So, I mean, if that's the ultimate carrot that's dangling out there, you're back to what you said, days off. There are no days off if you want to be that first round guy. So he's here, and listening to him at SEC Media Days when we were there last month, I think right at about a month ago or so. I think he does have a mission this year. He's got a plan. So. He had a good scrimmage, and I think these are, it's like game day during camp. Your scrimmages are your game days, and these are the tapes and the practices that are valued just a little bit more. Hey, a reminder, August 26th, the Chuck and Bo Show starts at 6 a.m., the morning rush. We've been here for 18 years in this time slot. We're moving back to 9 to 11. Ty's got to get his beauty sleep. The sleep he's been getting the last 6 years is not working. So we got to get more beauty sleep. Morning rush now 9 to 11 beginning August 26th here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
And that's evidenced by you watching our video stream every day and looking at me like, what the hell is that?
This is Football Friday on the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Summertime in Arkansas means pond and creek fishing, and nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel crickhopper. You can twitch it, pop it, walk it, and swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The crickhopper works great in tandem with light spinning rods and reels with 4 or 6 pound fishing line. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. The Rebel crickhopper.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fenceman was my first call. The Fenceman does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fenceman does it. The Fenceman. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
I'm going to have to lean towards Ty here.
This is the Morning Rush.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fenceman was my first call. The Fenceman does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fenceman does it. The Fenceman. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season. From baseball, golf, soccer, right to all the top fights in UFC, MMA, and boxing. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BELIEVE for your 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. Bet online. The game starts here.
This song hit number 2 without one guitar. Gary Wright traveled with George Harrison to India for spiritual enlightenment and wrote Dream Weaver, describing God as infinite love and compassion, seeing him through the trials of the night. Of the 330 million gods of Hinduism, not one will get you to the morning light, but only through the blood of Jesus Christ. Satan is a master deceiver, weaving many into make-believers. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
This video is powered by the pros at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPaschal.com.
Every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Arkansas looking to tie the game. Wilson will keep it. Nobody expected that. And we've got a brand new game.
You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Our buddy Richard Davenport hops on with us a couple days late. We kind of had some shift as we're getting ready for the Chuck and Bo show beginning August the 26th. So Chuck joined us a day earlier than he usually does, and RD is going to join us here on a Football Friday, talk a little recruiting, and we'll touch on the scrimmage a little bit too.
Week from tomorrow, we give away the football trip of a lifetime at Hardee's. So you got just over a week. We had more qualifiers yesterday, and we're about to the end of the track here on this thing. You can join us Tuesday at the Hardee's location on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. One of our last chances to qualify. If you need a Monster Burger in 150 seconds or less, you get one of the final seats at the table for next Saturday, the 24th. How many qualifiers we got now, guys? You got a couple.
Should
14.
Be 14.
14.
Yeah.
Good job,
Big C.
I think we got 2 more seats. I think 16 is kind of the physical limitation on that. So make it out this coming week. We're going to be at Hardee's next Friday morning. We'll have $1.49 sausage biscuits a week from today. So our final morning rush from 6 to 9 next Friday will be at Hardee's on Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith.
All right, let's talk to our friend Richard Davenport. Richard, you think you could crush a Monster Burger in 150 seconds or less, buddy?
Say that again.
You think you could eat a Monster Burger in less than 150
From
seconds?
Hardee's?
I could give it a go, man.
Okay.
I mean, I could try.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that. I think a lot of recruits would like to see that too.
My man RD, he's been he's been in search of cooler weather and fast horses. You've been up at Saratoga. How was your little getaway to the Northeast?
Yeah, that was really nice. I mean, like you said, the weather was. The temperatures. Unfortunately, we got there Wednesday, went to the races on Thursday, and about half the card was it was raining, and then the next day it was kind of raining off and on, and then they actually canceled the races for Friday, so wasn't able to go.
Wasn't there some remnants of that Hurricane Debbie or that came through the kind of the last remnants of it?
Yeah. they were anticipating a lot more wind and a lot of more rain on Friday, but it didn't come. But there are actually some tornado watches up there, and that's pretty rare from what I understand.
Win any money?
No, I didn't win any money. But I had a great time. It's always been on my list. It's an event. It really is, and was able to sit out in the picnic area and do a little, I guess, tailgating before the races, and that's pretty unique right there. And then the paddocks are across the street. The horses have to go across the street, and obviously, you have people, stopping traffic, and that was quite unique. But yeah, it's if anybody loves horse racing, I mean that Saratoga is definitely a place you want to go.
So when you watched Coach Pitman yesterday and you read the post scrimmage review, saw 8 interceptions, what was the first thing that came to your mind?
Well, I started asking, okay, who threw the interceptions, and who's all involved, and I, from what I gather, four of the interceptions could be attributed to walk-ons. Is that right?
Yeah, there's only one by Talon Green, so I think that
Yeah, not eight like some people would make you believe.
We have pointed out that I don't, we pointed that out because on the social media you'd have them believe that Green threw 10.
Yeah. Well, I that's the first question I started asking myself. I mean, because I don't know. There's so many things involved when you don't have all the the answers, the information about who made those interceptions, who forced the issue. And so I initially, I was like, oh, that's not so good. But obviously, he wasn't too pleased with that, and just the offense and defense. But that I know you want to hear good things about after every scrimmage, but sometimes that's not the case. So I'm not too alarmed, to be honest with you.
Talking with Richard Davenport this morning, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Richard, I know that we're focused a lot on fall camp right now, but maybe you could lend some knowledge on, in addition to all their fall camp stuff and game planning for UAPB and Oklahoma State, how are coaches handling recruiting right before the season begins?
Well, it's a dead period, which dead period doesn't mean – some people interpret dead period as like there's no communication whatsoever with coaches and the kids. That's not true. They can still communicate with kids via Twitter, phone, what have you. That's still going on. You're still doing that. The only thing about dead period, it doesn't allow you to host kids on campus, and you're not allowed to go off campus to visit kids. So that's really the only the dead period. What it's like. It's not like that you're not still recruiting, but you're recruiting even when they go on vacation. And like last month, and when they went on vacation in July, they were still recruiting kids. I mean, recruiting never stops, and then there's really never any downtime recruiting wise if you do it right.
Richard Davenport with us, Whole Hog Sports, all things recruiting. So with the way the schedule sets up, Little Rock and then Stillwater, and then you're home for UAB, and then you Auburn, the 5 different places over the first month. You don't really get into what I'd call a marquee Fayetteville game until the second month of the season. How do you think they'll go about setting up visits and getting people to campus? Obviously, they'll have some there for the UAB game, but there's some challenges this year just in getting your recruits on campus this year the way you'd like to.
Yeah, well, they'll obviously the marquee games. They'll kind of, especially the guys that they're really targeting, or maybe want to bring in for official visits. They'll bring them in for the big games, unless the kid is unless the kid's schedule doesn't allow, and they may have to use a UAB game as an official visit weekend for a particular kid or what have you. That sometimes that comes up, but I'm already hearing some things about the Texas game. I think the Texas game will, obviously if it's a meaningful game, they'll definitely use that as an opportunity to impress kids, and you just hope that's the case. And if that's the case, I anticipate even though it's going to be an 11 o'clock game, they'll still definitely bring kids in the best that they can.
Richard, I wonder, to kind of go off Tommy's question, I know kids sometimes will text you a night or two before, hey, I'm coming to Fayetteville this weekend, but what does that look like in this setup? How long does it usually take for them to kind of set the date up with particular coaches and the recruiting staff on when they're coming here to Fayetteville?
Yeah, well, like the official visits, that's usually planned out pretty far in advance, because that's a 48. Well, it could be a 48-hour visit if the kid doesn't have a game on Friday. Those are usually well in advance. But as far as the unofficial visits, a lot of times, sometimes it's a late minute decision for kids. Can mom or dad get off, and or something? Can I get a ride there if I don't? If mom or dad can't take me. Yeah. So that's a lot of times when you start checking on kids visiting for a particular weekend, it's not till about Thursday till you really have a good idea who's showing up, because especially young men, you know how young guys are. They
what are you saying?
They're not the most detailed and urgent and reliable, and I think we can all agree on that. I mean, and I can't imagine being the relationships with kids is one of the best things about recruiting. But I guarantee you, some of those kids can drive coaches crazy, because they can drive me crazy in certain situations. But it can be an adventure when you're trying to get kids on campus and you just can't get an answer that as soon as you want, and it can be very trying.
Yeah. Richard, you've written a couple columns lately about some different young men, some that have committed to Arkansas, others that are potentially in the mix. I want to start with an in-state kid, Tucker Young, class of 2026, Hot Springs kid. What's Arkansas potentially getting in this offensive lineman?
Well, obviously, number one, if you're an offensive lineman, you have to have size. He's 6'5", 6'6", 300 pounds, and he's a 2026 young man who showed well at the camp on June 12th. And, when kids come up for camps, the coaches pretty much have an idea who they're looking at and who they're evaluating. And obviously, they were evaluating Tucker, and they liked him enough to think that he could potentially get an offer, and he worked out well enough, and the offer came, and then shortly afterwards he decided to be a Razorback. But if you're an offensive lineman, you got to have great feet, you got to have the size, you got to have the little piss and vinegar in your attitude. I've seen a few guys over the years not play mean, and I think as an offensive lineman, you have to have a pretty mean attitude to survive and be really good on the line. And I think all those things kind of involved Tucker and his skill set, his attitude.
So one of the really that he's a guy 2026. One of the pieces in 2025 that's committed is Tavian Wallace. You also read about him. Highest recruit thus far, Jessup, Georgia. That was a big get for Arkansas, one of the biggest gets in the Sam Pittman era. Still not to campus yet, still not signed. But what more did you learn about Tavian, Richard?
Well, when I was watching his video of his announcement, I was just struck by the amount of people that stood up, and it was announced at he announced at his church, and I was struck by all the people that talked before him, his decision, and how they talked about him as a person. They really weren't even talking about him as a football player. And when you hear that on a consistent basis and how convincing they were, I was like, I knew. I talked to him after his visit to Arkansas. I was very impressed with him, but I only had one interaction with him. But hearing people that knew him very, very well, coaches, teachers, administrators, and they bragged on him so much, you just learned that he's just a leader. He's a young man who's very strong in his faith. And when you get a guy that has outstanding talent and outstanding character, I've always said this, the odds of that kid being successful, I think, goes up because of that character, and because the character will help you, overcome some things, and will also, you'll have the work ethic, and you'll have the determination to do the things that are needed to be outstanding. And you combine that with talent, things are pretty good. You have a pretty good chance of being successful.
Richard, final question. This is the time of the year, and talking about a commitment there. A lot of times high school kids, particularly in our state, but elsewhere, like to give that commitment right before their season starts. Or anything in the next week, 10 days, you're expecting some announcements on from any of the 25, or maybe even a 26 kid that might make a commitment to Arkansas?
Yeah, I think Aiden Anding from Western Louisiana. He's a cornerback who's down to Arkansas, LSU, and Texas. And all those schools really, really want him. Arkansas got on him early. And Coach Wilson, cornerbacks coach or secondaries coach, that's his official title, has been the lead recruiter and has an outstanding relationship with him. I think it's going to come down to Arkansas and LSU. Initially, it sounded like Arkansas and Texas, but I think this may be one of the rare situations where Arkansas could potentially beat out LSU for an in-state guy.
Wow.
You don't say that very often, but I anticipate him making the decision. Yeah, probably in the next week or two, and if they get him, I mean, obviously, when you have three schools like that in the finals for a kid, that's pretty strong, and that kind of indicates the level of talent that he has.
Anyone in state would fall in that bucket?
Off the top of my head, I'm trying to think. I'm still trying to get back into things after a vacation. Off the top of my head, I can't think of anybody. Okay. But do you have anybody in mind?
No, I'd love to see a flip from Robinson, Wimberly, Kern. Just to name some.
I think if anything like that happens, we're probably talking later in the season. And obviously, that's the importance of having a good season.
Yeah. All right, RD. We'll leave it there, man. Appreciate you being flexible with us this week. We'll put you in your usual slot on Wednesday. And then, hey, not only do we get to sleep in, RD, you get to sleep in a little bit starting the following Wednesday.
Yeah, that's going to be quite unique. I'm happy for you guys. I know that, I don't know, 3:30, 4 o'clock, whatever time you guys get up, that alarm's got to be kind of tough. So I'm happy for both of you guys. It's going to be the
best thing that happens in 6 years. Knock out the 3:30 alarm, change it to 5 every day. So I can't wait. All right, RD, have a great weekend, man. Glad you had fun in Saratoga.
All right, we'll see you guys.
All right, Richard Davenport with us here on the Morning Rush. We'll continue to have our conversations weekly with RD when we begin a 9 to 11 slot coming up on August the 26th. Brought to you by APAC Arcola, Standard Materials Group. If you're looking for a company that is a great opportunity for your employment, your career, with upward mobility, meaning there's room for promotion, room for advancement, room to make more money as you move along, better responsibilities. They've got career paths for you at APAC Arcola. My brother has worked there for more than 15 years and has made a great career at APAC. You can too. Heavy equipment operators, concrete finishers, licensed CDL drivers, people with experience in and around a quarry, electricians, diesel mechanics. I mean, you name it, there is a variety of positions with the APAC team. Go to jobs.crh.com, see the map, and see the details of where those jobs are at. That's jobs.crh.com. APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
All right, so we're talking a little high school football here. I know we're 13 days out from when the guys open in War Memorial Stadium. Then they'll follow it up a week or so later at Boone Pickens Stadium. Arkansas will play, of course, in Razorback Stadium, week 3, as Tommy referred to. Now, you don't have to make this Razorback specific, as you hear the Friday Night Lights theme song this morning. But what stadium are you most excited to be in this fall? Tommy's going to be in a different stadium each Friday night. I'm going to be traveling to games. Tommy's going to be going to games. Some of the ones that I kind of just picked out, I went basically 7A through 2A in our listening areas and outside a little bit, just in Arkansas, whether it's Harmon Field in Fayetteville, Smith Robinson Stadium in Greenwood, Trojan Stadium in Hot Springs, Claudeman Stadium in Malvern, Bearcat Stadium in Booneville, or Warrior Stadium in Lepanto. We got a Lepanto texter last week, Tommy, so I figured I'd incorporate them. What stadium are you most excited to be in this fall? Again, it doesn't have to be college related. It can be, but Tommy, mine is unique. I got to go Notre Dame, man. I really do. It's one of the premier venues in college football. I know a lot of people hate Notre Dame. I know Zach is a little annoying on air about them from time to time, but in terms of a college football venue and experience, Arkansas's bye week, right before they play Texas, I'll be there for Florida State against the Fighting Irish, the Catholics versus the Seminoles. I don't know what I don't know what Florida State was known for back in the day. I know Miami was the Convicts, but that's the venue I'm looking forward to this fall being in the most, just because I've never been there.
I don't have a big road trip planned, but I would like to go October 12th to the Red River Rivalry. I'll probably talk about it and not do it, but not that the Cotton Bowl is, the old Cotton Bowl is the mecca of college football. It's old, it's tired. Well, it's tired, it's run down, and in its day it was great, but its glory days are well. Yeah. Since passed them by, but I would just love to experience that atmosphere, the state fair, the whole shebang, and that might, like I said, the schedule works out. Just got to figure it out. That's the week in between Arkansas's Tennessee and LSU games in Fayetteville. So I'm excited about being back in Razorback Stadium this year. I mean, it unfortunately that the flow to it's a little off, but yeah, I mean, as far as venues and not just picking Razorback Stadium because it's easy. I'd like to go to that Red River Rivalry. I don't know if it's because of venue, but it's because of atmosphere. Tradition,
pageantry, it's all there in
Dallas, I don't know that it's the greatest rivalry and greatest matchup in college football, but it's somewhere buried around the top 5 for me.
Couple texts already on this subject. Robert in Conway says the Swamp got a chance to explore Ben Hill Griffin Stadium last year. I'll say this, at 11 a.m., Florida, it was 11, or maybe it was 12 there. Tommy, Florida was louder than LSU at night. I didn't think I'd say that, but as someone that went to both venues last fall, it was louder in the Swamp at 12 o'clock or whatever it was than Death Valley at night, which I never thought I'd say. Bobby in Ashdown, Tommy, says Dick Hayes Stadium, where the Ashdown Panthers play.
There you go.
Friday nights. That is our friend Bobby in Ashdown.
So if you were going to pick one venue this year to travel to an Arkansas game, I mean, I've been to Columbia at the tail end of the year. That's no peach.
Yep.
Starkville's very friendly and drivable. And then you look at Auburn. I mean, I think Stillwater's probably the one that's going to come to mind for most because of the ease of accessing there. That's a sold-out game.
Mm-hmm.
But, when you look at road venues this year, there's not a great list of options this year if you're looking to go to that one Arkansas game on the road this year.
Yeah, I think we've talked about how it's less difficult maybe away schedule outside the Oklahoma State than what you play at home. But you do have some, as you alluded to, close proximity. I've never been to Columbia for football. I've been for basketball.
I've been.
And
don't
you said it was
time.
Now
they've renovated some since I've been there,
Yeah.
but it's just
winning
it's
in
tired.
Jordan-Hare Stadium 2 years ago, getting to experience that was awesome. I had a great time. Starkville, as you said, nicest fan base I've been around the SEC. We tailgated with some Mississippi State fans. Everyone I ran into was really cool. So I liked it. Starkville gets a bad rap. I think there's a lot of a commonplace with Arkansas fans and Starkville fans. Now this comes from this is another high school venue. It's Dr. Tyler who listens in Fayetteville.
I can make that work.
He says the stadium. Sorry, my computer just switched. The First Security Stadium in Searcy, Arkansas, where the Harding Bison, Derek Ruskin's alma mater, Well, I say that. No, the college, excuse me, where I guess they just won the national championship last year, and that's Paul Simmons is Wyatt's dad, right? That's the coach there?
Mhm.
I got that right? So that's
Yeah.
what he's looking forward to this upcoming fall.
I was just thinking about this, because I got to take the girls to a Taylor Swift concert in New Orleans.
Another one?
Well, another. We hadn't been to one.
I thought you'd been one. My bad.
No. We've had tickets for like 2 years, but that game in Starkville, it's semi sort of on the way to New Orleans. I might be able to make that
do
work.
that, then.
Can I talk the girls into going to a game at Starkville, and then we'll slide on down? I don't know. That's probably not what
Is
they
it
have in mind.
Is it the night concert, Tommy?
It's a Sunday night.
Oh, yeah. You get something, they get something.
Well,
that's compromise.
Saturday night's supposed to be spent in New Orleans. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull
That
that
might
one
be
off.
tough.
All right, Morning Rush moves 9 to 11 beginning August the 26th. Chuck and Bo will be on at 6 a.m. till 9. A great lineup all day long. As we've joked this week, we'll be all sports from 6 to 2, and then Ruskin and Zach. So we've got you covered. Local programming, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. starting August 26th on ESPN Arkansas and the Hit That Line Now app.
Got some more texts rolling in. We'll get to those next on a Football Friday.
When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fenceman was my first call. The Fenceman does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fenceman does it. The Fenceman. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Home is everything. It's your sanctuary, your command center, your music room, and your art studio. It's where you eat family dinners and make lasting memories. When you use a Weichert agent to help you find your home, we'll help you find the space to make it yours. When you begin your search, know that a Weichert agent will be there with you every step of the way. Because at Weichert Realtors, we guide you home. To get started, call your local Weichert agent and look for our bright yellow signs all over town. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Summertime in Arkansas means pond and creek fishing, and nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel crick hopper. You can twitch it, pop it, walk it, and swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The crick hopper works great in tandem with light spinning rods and reels with 4 or 6 pound fishing line. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. The Rebel crick hopper.
This is the Morning Rush.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Back at Road Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway in Van Buren with Grant Neal. Grant, I love trucks, and you guys have a great selection of trucks right now.
Well, we're really proud that the manufacturer's stepping up and making the deals really, really great on these new trucks. I mean, I've got a new Silverado right now, $39,896. We've got brand new 2500 HD Duramax diesel trucks with over $3,000 off. I've got a half-ton 1500 6.2 liter V8 Chevy Crew Cab with over $7,000 off, and actually it could be over $8,000 off if you have a qualifying trade-in. Now that GM Financial's stepping up with these great rates, we've got rates as low as 1.9% for well-qualified buyers on select vehicles with a 90-day deferral. That means you buy the car, you don't have a payment for 3 months. I mean, these are the kinds of deals we've been waiting for all year long.
It's Road Chevrolet. You better get here today. 2800 Alma Highway in Van Buren, Arkansas's favorite car dealer.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names, and tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at goforsgren.com. That's goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny and very hot. High temperatures this afternoon, upper 90s to near 100, with just a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm. Clear to partly cloudy with isolated showers and storms possible tonight. Overnight lows in the low to mid 70s, and a better chance of showers and storms on Saturday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 13 days. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
I thought he played well. He wasn't as accurate with the ball as what he had been. His protection wasn't as good either. So that has something to do with it.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live on your favorite radio station, hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app.
Don't say it's a fine morning or I'll shoot you.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
And Tommy Kraft.
They're going to go nuts when he hits this thing.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
How about them Cowboys?
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Let's stand up and call those.
And we welcome you back. Hour number 2 of the Morning Rush. Had a great first hour talking all things football here on a Football Friday. Richard Davenport joined us a couple days late, shared some thoughts on this Arkansas football team, not only the scrimmage yesterday, but some recruiting stuff. We'll jump back into what you heard Coach Pitman talking about there in just a bit. Before we went to break, we were asking the question, hey, what football venue are you most excited to be at this fall? High school, college, wherever. Ryan in Prairie Grove, Tommy cites kind of this thing you said. Stillwater would be awesome. Doesn't think he'll be able to make it, but he wish he could go. Tyler in South Korea remembers going to Columbia, South Carolina at night years ago, and it was fun. JT in Hot Springs, just a 4 to 5 hour drive for him to Starkville, so he might go. And then John Needham in his 39th year broadcasting Pottsville High School football. That's what he's looking forward to, Apache Steve at John Needham Stadium. So nearly 40 years for Apache Steve broadcasting Pottsville High School football.
Hey, Football Friday is brought to you by our buddies over at Farm Credit. If you're looking for the right financing option to remodel your current home or maybe build a new one, it's easier than ever with our friends at Farm Credit of Western Arkansas. First of all, they have 25 locations around our listing area, so there's one near you to guide you through the process from start to finish. Or you can just go to their website at your convenience, myaglender.com. That's myaglender.com, and see all the financing options that Farm Credit offers. Farm Credit of Western Arkansas, making dreams come true. They've been doing it for more than 100 years.
Another text, Josh says Scrapper Stadium. That's Nashville, right, Tommy?
Yep.
Nashville,
Yep.
Arkansas.
The Scrappers.
The Scrappers. So that's good. You can keep those coming in throughout the morning. We'll be fielding those and making sure people know about the different venues you're excited to be at this fall. High school, college, I guess junior high, whatever the case, whatever your son, maybe your daughter's cheering.
Yeah, we got a blue-white game tonight for Dylan. Or I guess a kind of a public practice or whatever. But they've got that. And then Monday they have their scrimmage. A lot of local high school teams will be scrimmaging other schools on Monday and Tuesday of next week. So
cool.
It's approaching, and this is rare because of the double bye this year that the Razorbacks will actually open up before the very vast majority of high schools around our state that will play the following night, which is kind of an unusual dynamic this year. Is we'll see the Razorbacks before most of us will see our high school teams play.
Now, Big C, you said you've done some broadcasting with Apache Steve. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe that's Steve McClure. And, yes, me and him did do some
Stephen
games.
Glenn is another name he's known by.
Steve Glenn.
I've known him for, 30 years probably, close to it.
Yeah,
good dude.
Learned a lot from him.
Yep.
Cool. Well, that's awesome. So we'll continue to accept those throughout the morning. I do want to talk about this scrimmage yesterday coming up. We're going to hear more from Coach Pitman in just a bit. But before we get into that, I was reading this report in Whole Hog Sports, Tommy, about the recent trustees and the Arkansas Trustees, the annual retreat. Apparently it was in the Winthrop Rockefeller Center. And Scott Ford, so little background story. Scott's dad and him ran Alltel. Before that, they sold it. Now is the co-founder and CEO of West Rock Coffee since 2009. Scott's son, Will, is a year older than me at high school, knew each other. I knew Scott very sparingly a little bit, sharp as a tack. There's a reason he's been added to that board.
Could you call and see if he'd take me to Augusta? They're members at Augusta National. Maybe.
Yes.
Could you make that call for me?
Two of my, I wouldn't say Will was one of my best friends. He's a friend, but two of my really good buddies were really good friends with Will, and they got to experience that, as did our old high school basketball coach, Austin Trimley. And they said their knees are just shaking on the tee box.
Well, that's fine. I mean, just tell them OTC'd like to go if they got room on the jet. So.
That and a lotion. I'm going to be honest, this is going to sound horrible. I'm an Arkansas boy through and through. I'd rather play a lotion than Augusta. Yeah. That's just.
That tells you all you need to know,
that's
folks.
That's egregious, but I'd
that's
rather
all
play
you need to know right there.
Than Augusta. I hope Mr. Stevens is listening. Here's what I wanted to get to. So when asked about, again, the current landscape of college athletics, this is what Scott Ford had to say. He says, we have a top 20 athletic program in the old world. Good. Let's be a top 5 in the new world. I'd argue you got a top 20 athletics program right now by the Learfield Cup standings every year, Tommy, that Arkansas finishes within like the top 10 or around it.
You know who cares about that? Administrators. That's about all that care about that.
But and he goes on. He says, rather than to bemoan the new landscape, think about using it to our advantage. He says, goes raise more money than anyone else, and let's win. So to bring that back to and he says, let's be a champion in the new era. So to bring that back where you're at, I think that, and I could be wrong about this, but I think everyone that's listening think that Arkansas basketball can win a national championship. Did in '94, you can do it now. Got one of a premier coach in college basketball, Hall of Fame coach. Got a really good baseball coach. I know some people don't think that Dave Van Horn can win. I think he can win. I just.
How would you think he couldn't? I mean, that's just
because it hasn't happened yet, and it's been 20 some odd years. I mean, there's reasons that you can cite to say that. Yeah, I don't think he'll win. I mean, Mike Martin's a perfect example.
Won't and can't are two different words.
That's fair. That's a great way to put it. But
he absolutely can. Now, whether he wills, maybe beyond his control. I don't know. But to say he can't, there's been coaches that are much lesser coaches than Dave Van Horn that have already won national titles.
Mike Bianco would be the one that comes to mind for me. But that being said, I want to tie this into football. what is Arkansas? What is the ceiling for football? And I don't want you to be a homer here.
Now define that a little more. Ceiling for 1 year, ceiling for 5 or 10 years. Tell me what you mean.
In today's landscape, let's make it a 5 to 10 year window. I'm of the opinion in every 5 years or so they should compete for a chance to go to the college football playoff. Being that it is 12 teams, being that the SEC will get at least 3 teams every year, I think it's going to be 4. I think the SEC is going to get 4 in this year, maybe 5. I feel that strongly about that.
5 of the 12?
Yeah, I think there's a chance that could happen. You get 4 qualifiers, right?
I don't think
Top 4
that'll happen.
conferences, Big 12, ACC, SEC, Big 10. You got 8 spots left.
So you're suggesting that 4 of the half of the at-large will be Southeastern Conference.
Hey,
teams.
Tommy, here's what I'll cite. All you got to do is go look at the AP poll, the coaches poll. I mean, it's Big 10 and SEC teams, and I think the SEC could legitimately get 5 teams in. I'm
not
serious
that
about
optimistic. Okay, well, that's fine. That's your opinion. That's fine.
That being said, I mean, what is that? That 5 to 10 year window? Christian, push the brake back. By the way, I want to expand on this because I think there's meat on this bone, and I think again, Scott Ford, for those that don't know, works his tail off. I remember him telling us at an FCA event years ago, he used to work like 5 days a week and 1 night, and I was like, 1 night? What the heck does that mean? It's like he worked all through the night or whatever, and his hours were insane. I think you have things in place. I just don't want fans to think that football's done, because I don't think it is. I think people now that look at today's landscape of college athletics and say, Arkansas has no chance. I don't believe that for 1 second. 1 second. I think Arkansas, even in today, can compete for a college football playoff. Now, that's the difference between that and the national championship.
So help me tie back in, Scott Ford being put on the board. How does that tie into this?
Well, yes, it's what I went to. It's like we have a top 20 athletics program. Let's be top 5 in the new world. I'm trying that into football. What do you think Arkansas football can be? Okay.
I think over a 5 to 10 year window, if you could average 8 wins a year, we should all be ecstatic. And you say, that's mediocrity. I just don't see the population base, the recruiting base. When you consider the competition, I think if you could average 8 wins over 10 years, we ought to be very satisfied with that. That might mean 1 or 2 years you're at 9 wins or 10.
Yeah.
But it also means, there's going to be a year or 2 in there that perhaps you take your medicine. I just think, when you stop and think about the new landscape of the SEC, which is also likely to go to 9 conference games at some point.
Great point.
I don't think we really understand how difficult it is just to win 4 SEC games. Just getting 8 wins in a year for most schools, and I'm not talking about Alabama and Georgia. Even LSU struggles to do that year in, year out. Look at Auburn, where they're at right now. When you look at over, you pan out and you look at it, from more of a maybe 50,000 foot view. 8 wins is harder than I think we all appreciate or value. We just throw out 10 wins because we think it's easy. It's just a damn hard feat to accomplish with what you're handed here, with where you're located, population center, recruiting grounds. If you could get to 8 on average over 10 years, you've done a heck of a job.
Here's what I would say in response to that. Arkansas's had that same disadvantage for how many years is a football program?
But now you've got 2 more schools recruiting players that want to be in the SEC in the same primary recruiting grounds that you work.
Yes. Here's if I am looking at this from a positive view, we are still the mainstay in this state. No disrespect to UCA, Wonder Boys, anything else. Any kid that grows up in Arkansas wants to be a Razorback to a certain extent. Some more than others, but that's still there. You had all these recruiting disadvantages back in the day when you were going up against Southwest Conference foes that were also in the conference. So you had to go get Texas kids from there, as you do now. And I think what John Tyson showed and Warren Stevens showed with hiring Cal is there is still money here that wants to win. Like it's not just.
Then why aren't they giving it?
We talk because let's call a spade a spade. I don't think they fully believe in Sam Pittman's the right guy to get it done. You're not going to invest in something unless you're almost sure it's going to pan out. And that's the reality of this situation, is that the big wigs of this state, from a football standpoint, are not 100% sold on Sam Pittman. Nor is the rest of the fan base. So, in order for that to change, Coach Pittman has to show them, not just this season, but hopefully in seasons to come, that he is the right guy to be that next level coach. And we've talked about Hall of Fame coaches before. Cal's obviously a Hall of Fame coach. Dave's obviously a Hall of Fame coach. Coaches, when you have Hall of Famers, things change. I just think I'm sick, and I keep seeing this, and I keep getting this in group text, that like just the reveling in misery that we were kind of talking about yesterday, where it's like, why are you – it's the season hasn't even started, and you're just putting yourself in the worst place. Now it's like for the rest of your life that you just think Arkansas football is going to suck.
Do you think 8 wins sucks?
No, I am exactly – how you just laid that out was exactly what I had written down. In 10 years, averaging 8 wins, occasionally being around 6, and occasionally once or twice getting 10. If you get 10
but that
wins,
also means in that 10, you're going to probably occasionally be around 4.
Yes, but if you get to 10, like you referred to, you will be in the college football
You're going to be
playoff.
at 6 more often than not.
But if you get 2 of those years out of 10, that's worth it in my mind.
Where you're north of 8?
Yeah.
And in 2 of those years, you're south of 6?
Yeah, because look, Tommy, I mean, we've had a decade. Every year since over a decade, I should say. Every year since 2012, you hadn't hit the double-digit mark. You got close in 2021, but close is
look
only.
At the numbers since Saban joined the league. Look at the numbers. You know, I know what they were in 06, and I know you had the run with Patrino, but, I mean, if you just do and we've all looked at it, know the numbers generally, you just look at them since you've joined the SEC. There's been a lot more years like what we're talking about that are a little more thin than 10-win, 9-win seasons. I mean, we've got 32 years of data, I guess 31 seasons of data. We kind of know what's happened.
Couple texts on this. Tyler in Greenwood says today landscape I would say a bowl game against a team like Arkansas State or UAB. I think that there's a little more than that. Let's see. JT in Hot Springs says this morning, I say this every time we talk about it, 8-4 should be expected every year. When the ball bounces the wrong way, 6-6. When it bounces the right way, 10-2 or 11-1. Play for the SEC championship in 10 years. Houston Nutt, Chaz in Fayetteville says has a 61% winning percentage at Arkansas. That's an average of 6.7 wins a year on a current 12-game schedule and 7.3 wins a year on 11-game schedule of old.
Well,
that
of old, yeah, of what I'd call pre-Saban.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about Saban at LSU. I'm talking about, the Saban we all know that's burned in our memories. And the Saban at Alabama changed everything. I mean,
but he's gone now. That's
he's
the thing.
gone. And how much the league will change is yet to unfold, yet to see. It's, now we're not in divisions. Now you're not playing certain teams like that every year. So, I mean, there's a lot of unknown just because the structure and the nature of this conference is there's a sea change beginning this year.
So let me ask you this. To Scott Ford's point before we end this, do you think Arkansas is a top 20 athletics program and kind of to bridge off
department-wide, yes.
Okay.
But that's not really how fans measure.
Okay. And then
because volleyball or track or soccer's bringing up the average, that's great. Not against any of those things. But we all measure. Football's about 70%. Basketball's about 20-25%, and baseball's the rest. That's the reality. We're very heavy, and the results and the returns of football matter more than anything else combined.
Yep. Mason and Megan texting in this morning, I guess the husband and wife couple saying, it is National Kool-Aid Day. We're mixing up the Kool-Aid strong early this morning. Yeah, so, again, the final question, Tommy. So Arkansas is a top 20 program in athletics. We agree, and I also agree that fans don't necessarily care about the whole product. Nope. They want football, basketball, and baseball. You've got a top 20 basketball program. You've got a top 20 baseball program. You don't have a top 20 football program currently. Do you think they can do that in the next 10 years? Can they be a top 20 football program? I think they can, but
I don't know, but here's what gives you a chance, perhaps.
Okay.
The growth and the influx in Northwest Arkansas. The Fort Smith area's got a lot of great things going on as far as jobs and cost of living. You need another Darren McFadden to come along out of Little Rock or out of this state and then pair it up with some great talent. Is there a chance for it to be for a few seasons? Over the long haul, over a 10-year period, staying in that top 20, I think that's a real challenge.
I think that's a fair way to answer that. All right, we got plenty more to get to here on a Football Friday. Got our Morning Rush Daily Question coming up, presented by Cart Pass Social. And I'm going to try and push and prod Tommy to join a fantasy football league before the start of the season.
Might have to get a cattle prod to make that happen. We'll do our Fenceman Friday picks a little bit later. We'll look at lines from Bet Saracen. If you haven't downloaded the Bet Saracen app, do that. Football season, we are on the doorstep. Inside of 2 weeks, 13 days till the Hogs play, preseason NFL games going on, all the actions at Bet Saracen with the Bet Saracen app. All right, Morning Rush Daily Question coming up. It's National Kool-Aid Day. I'm going to give you the question before the break. You can call get on hold, or you can text, and we'll talk about this amongst ourselves next. What's your favorite flavor of Kool-Aid? We'll talk about that next. Morning Rush question. Next on the Morning Rush.
This is Football Friday on the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Tell everybody Woo Pig Suey.
This is the Morning Rush.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
Are you interested in saving money on your heating bills and upgrading your home's energy efficiency? Now's the time. Installing or upgrading to natural gas allows you to take advantage of high-efficiency appliances that save energy and money. From furnaces to water heaters to gas dryers and fireplaces, there's a natural gas option to fit your home and your budget. What's not to love about that? Don't wait. Call AOG today at 800-842-5690 or visit AOGC.com to learn more. AOG, energy for life.
Summertime in Arkansas means pond and creek fishing, and nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel crickhopper. You can twitch it, pop it, walk it, and swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The crickhopper works great in tandem with light spinning rods and reels with 4 or 6 pound fishing line. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. The Rebel crickhopper.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett with River Valley Smile Center. We dial 782-8940.
Coach Todd Holland, head baseball coach of the University of Arkansas Fort Smith Lions. I call 782-8940.
Stay cool this summer with a York high-efficiency HVAC unit. Or for more information on endless hot water and high-efficiency tankless water heaters, give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Time for the Carpat Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
I got a question.
Can I ask you kind of a weird question?
I didn't ask what you think.
Actually, you did.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpatsocial.com. Carpat Social, the getting out of the sun, making golfing fun.
All right, Morning Rush Daily Question. We gave you the question. We rarely do this before the break because, quite honestly, sometimes I'm still figuring out the question during the break. But it's National Kool-Aid Day. What is your favorite flavor of Kool-Aid? I was a Kool-Aid kid, man. I was raised on it. My house, now I'll be honest, we don't do name brand Kool-Aid because I'll be honest, I prefer the Great Value sugar-free version even better. So do my kids. Mm-hmm. But what is your favorite flavor? We'll just call it Kool-Aid in general. It's kind of like having a Coke. Well, everything's a Coke. What's your favorite flavor of Kool-Aid, Big C?
Grape is good.
Grape's a winner.
Yeah, cherry is okay. Grape to me is the best. Yeah.
Ty?
I'm gonna stay in that same line of thinking, but I'm gonna say the Hawaiian Punch version, which I know Kool-Aid they're competing.
Tropical Punch is, I believe, the Hawaiian Punch is its own brand.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid's is Tropical Punch, and then they call it something else with the Great Value. I prefer the Great Value, but I'm in that same vein with you there.
Yeah, that's what Chris in Fort Smith said. He likes Hawaiian Punch with pineapple juice added. Tyler from South Korea enjoys blue raspberry. Let's see. These texts are flying in. Good question, Tommy. Josh,
what is National Kool-Aid Day?
Yeah, Josh prefers the kicking kiwi strawberry flavor. So,
man, you get in that aisle at Walmart, they've got about 15 or 20 different flavors. Sometimes mixing them's good. I'm with you guys. There's two that stand out to me. And I'll give you a third one too. The Hawaii, or not Hawaii, the Tropical Punch.
Yeah,
is my all-time number one since I was a kid favorite. Grape is number two, and then their the lemonade in this. And I know that Country Time does its own thing, but the lemonade is a strong number three. And I've learned as an adult, these don't make bad mixers, if you know what I mean. So
more text coming in. JT in Hot Springs enjoys 1 packet of black cherry, 1 packet of cherry, and then 2 cups of sugar. That's
all right. See, I go with the sugar-free because I could get carried away with the sugar version. The sugar-free version's sweet enough for me.
Yeah. Tyler in Greenwood says it's not called grape, it's called purple. He just likes to. I agree with you there, Tyler. Let's see. Cowboy Kool-Aid. I don't know what that is. That's from Gene in Fort Smith. Text out of the 479.
Cowboy Kool-Aid's probably. It sounds like voice texting got in the way.
Okay, that's probably it. Kevin likes the black cherry. That's his favorite.
I've not tried that one.
And Josh also says the same thing, very similar to the other text.
If you got someone that tells you they've never had Kool-Aid in their life, I wouldn't trust that person.
Yeah. Josh says that a real Kool-Aid drinker calls it by the color, not the flavor.
I get some purple drink had another meaning
Yeah.
a while back, but
And
I do like the purple. Give me some of that purple.
It still does. Kristen Van Buren says the OG, the red, is the adults call it. And then Jason from Mountain View enjoys the orange and lemon. That's his favorite. I will say the last time I drank Kool-Aid was the last time I stepped into Mama Dean's.
Man, yeah, they had Mama Dean's had it. That was like an option. You could have sweet tea or sweeter tea or, or water or Kool-Aid. And any place that serves Kool-Aid on the menu is all right with me.
And
you got Kool-Aid, collard greens, and mac and cheese. You might kind of join.
I still remember when my father moved me into Yoakum Hall, and I was super excited to take him to Mama Dean's where he'd never been. We get there, it was closed down.
That place.
I was so because I went there the year before as a senior in high school. My buddies took me, $10, unbelievable, and I'm thinking I'm going to go here every single weekend of college, and unfortunately, just did not.
They were in the old Mr. Burger on, I guess, South College last time I had it. And guess what? I think it was the fried chicken, and I had the mashed potatoes, and I had the mac and cheese, and I had the Kool-Aid. I had the red Kool-Aid as my drink. And, man, was it good. What was it? They had that cornbread.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
I can't think of the proper. Somebody will help us on the text, but that cornbread was. It was good.
It's been over a decade, and I'm still in pain that place no longer exists. But
at least I can get through a doorway because it's not here. So.
Yeah, because there's few. We talked about this a week or so ago. It's like this, Mary Maestris, Mr. Burger. I mean, AQ before.
Things that have come and gone. Brenda's Better Burger or Bigger Burger, rather.
Mm-hmm. There's plenty of places across not just Northwest Arkansas, the state, that have come and gone.
The places you would love to go to one more time.
Yep. Eric in Greenwood says, in the Navy, grape Kool-Aid, Tommy, is apparently called bug juice. Did not know that, Eric in Greenwood.
Yeah.
There is also a Kool-Aid museum in Hastings, Nebraska, according to Jason, Tommy.
A Kool-Aid museum?
That might be something that you need to go to.
I don't know how far Hastings is from Omaha, but hopefully we get to go to Omaha again next summer. Maybe we'll roll over to Hastings for a look-see.
Michael in Cave Spring says the mystery flavor is the best one of Kool-Aid. I haven't had that. Have you had that?
Mystery flavor?
Uh-huh.
It's a mystery.
Okay. Watermelon apparently is top tier, according to Mason and Megan. Berry Blue, according to Austin Fort Smith. Man, you sparked something. Do you guys say Kool-Aid or Kool-Aid? That's another question.
Well, you got to mash it all together, Kool-Aid.
Jacob Magazine poses that morning.
I'm telling you that great value stuff. Save a little money and the sugar free. I've got to go sugar free. My kids love this stuff. It's like an every shopping list purchase for us anymore.
Well, that is your Morning Rush Daily Question. It's brought to you by our friends at Cart Path Social. My buddies Nate and Christian doing a great job. Best indoor golf facility in Northwest Arkansas, located in Lowell. They've got their big launch weekend, all these different things coming up next weekend. So if you want to take advantage of that, you should definitely do so. CartPathSocial.com. They're really excited to host you. They've got multiple bays, TVs, putting green. I mean, this thing is unbelievable. If you haven't checked it out, do so at CartPathSocial.com and make sure to follow their social media as well.
I think with our new time change, maybe Kool-Aid needs to become a staple drink of the Morning Rush. Going 9 to 11. I'll get us go to Walmart, get us a couple pitchers, get some of those packets. We can just make us a pitcher of Kool-Aid every day.
Yeah, who's the?
We won't need the coffee at 9, so we'll just transition to Kool-Aid.
I know that that Matt
can we expense that?
Absolutely, of course we can. Text at the 870. His favorite Kool-Aid is the Arkansas preseason practice report. That's.
Well, it tasted a little bitter yesterday.
It did. That's where I wanted to go next. Coach Pitman summed it up right here.
I thought he played well. He wasn't as accurate with the ball as what he had been. His protection wasn't as good either. So that has something to do with it.
And just a backstory. That's him talking about Taylor Green, your starting quarterback. Now, I know some people on social media want you to believe that Taylor threw 8 interceptions yesterday.
He did not.
That was not the case. I'm going to have to say that another 10 times before the program begins. But he apparently didn't have his best day, nor did anyone on offense. I don't know if you look at it as, well, the defense is going to be good then this year, or you look at it as, well, the offense is far behind. We're not going to score any points like last year.
Hey, give them credit, though, over at the U of A. Give them credit with this coaching staff for admitting to throwing 8. Because I'll be honest, in a closed practice, you could have said anything you wanted to. And, for that to come out, give them credit for being honest about it.
Yeah. And that's
I don't think I would have. I'll just be honest.
And
I wouldn't have been honest.
Here's kind of the explanation of why maybe Taylor didn't have his best day, guys.
Bobby didn't run him as much this time as he did a little bit more last week, but he played well. He just didn't. He wasn't quite as accurate as what he was the week before.
I remember, so I was in Arrowhead Stadium last year, and Mahomes, I think, threw 2 picks in that game. And I want to say both of them were tip balls. This is the best quarterback that's alive right now on the planet. And threw 2 interceptions in the season opener yesterday because Kadarius Toney dropped 1, and I think another kid dropped 1 too. But they both resulted as interceptions on his stat sheet. And again, I wasn't there. I couldn't tell you if it was 5 feet behind him and it got tipped, or if it was just a bad read or a bad throw. But Coach Patrino kind of talked about this earlier this week on completion percentage. Tommy, the same thing kind of applies for interceptions as well, not just for Taylor Green, but the rest of the quarterback.
Got to look at it. Why did it happen? Was it a bad decision by the quarterback, or was it a good throw that got tipped? I mean, Coach Pitman talked about the protection there. That's where you just got to go break down the film if you're the coaching staff and try to fix the problem that led to the bigger issue, and that's the turnovers. So is this a concern? Yes. Is this going to be too much of the conversation heading in here to a football Friday and, the last full weekend before your first game, what's now 13 days away? Mm-hmm. It's a problem. But, I don't think this dooms the season. I don't think you should be shifting your expectations to a great degree based on what happened in one scrimmage with several guys still out, because you were talking about Broden and Armstrong, and then Braun on the offensive line, Josh Braun. Some of that's exactly what Coach was saying there. Protection wasn't as good. You got to get Braun back. That's becoming a little more concerning as we move closer to game day. But at the same time, they're also trying to guard against injuries. There's a lot that goes into it. You hate the headline this morning, but I don't think it dooms your season either.
Yeah. Here's what, when we got some calls, and we'll take them in just a sec. Here's what I thought about when I initially started reading and listening yesterday. This is not fair. This is not maybe the situation that any individual would want to find themselves in. But there is an absurd amount of pressure on Taylor Green this fall. Because if he does not play well, his head coach is not going to be here in Arkansas next year, in my opinion. And I hate that. But that is the reality that he is in. Because if they do not have a successful season this year, and we know how important the quarterback role is, then that's done. And this is a kid that, again, we had a chance to talk with this high school coach, Coach Michael Odell, last week. Really good conversation. We've caught up with him on the morning rush. Really enjoyed it. He's been on halftime and stuff. But he is now playing at the highest level of college football there is. And he's having to transition from Mountain West football, which is not even close. So, again, pressure is at its all-time highest in his entire life. And I'm curious how he handles it this fall. Everyone's going to be looking at him, and there's never been anything that he's experienced like he's going to, starting in not 13 days, but more like 22 or 3, whatever that is, for the Oklahoma State game. And then it just picks up from there once you get into SEC play.
He knows that. Confidence will carry you a long way for Taylor Green. You got to build some up. And, the best, we all, of course, want them to win in Stillwater, but what you can't have is just go there and get boat raced. What you can't have is a game against UAB where you don't look like you're in control. And those are the things that you got to build up to. I still think one of the things you got an edge on, and it's good, is this UAPB game is on Thursday, and you get 10 days to heal, rest, and get ready for Oklahoma State. I mean, the reality is there's staff behind the scenes already working on that game, and probably the reality, if we really knew it, is they've been working on schemes and concepts and packages that they want to run in that game September 7th already throughout camp. I'm not saying they're ignoring UAPB, and they'd never admit to that publicly, but, you've got a while to get ready for this game, and my guess is preparations have began. that's why we're all circling that date to really make our evaluation.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's talk Heath and Cabot real quick. I know Heath is not the highest on Arkansas. Heath, we got
Twice
about
this week.
What's up?
Listen, guys. Listen. You could just set the bar at 6 wins each year. Come on. Since 2006, Arkansas has had 2 10-winning seasons and 1 11-win seasons. So anything pushing more than that on a consistent basis is just wishful thinking. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, and I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think it matters if Green plays well. Pitman's gone this year. It don't matter if Green played. That schedule, look, they are rebuilding. Stillwater, they're ready. That's a seasoned team. Ollie Gordon probably going to run all over that team. Let's be real here. If they win 5 games this year, that'll probably be a success.
Yeah, you said that earlier on. You kind of just repeated, Heath, earlier this week. I don't think, listen, if Taylor Green plays well, Sam Pittman's going to be the football coach here next year. There's no doubt in my mind, because I think the rest of the pieces around Taylor Green are going to be better at times than they were last year. But you obviously have your opinion about the football team. I don't blame you for having that. I mean, they're bad last year. Yeah. So we'll see what they do this year.
All right, we'll get to our Fenceman Friday picks in just a minute. We're brought to you by Gaston's White River Resort. 870-431-5202 is their number. This weekend, get by Gaston's for a great meal. You can call that number I just gave, and I'll give it again here in a minute. Make dinner reservations. Even if you're not staying at Gaston's, you can go by for the fresh seafood they'll fly in for the weekend. It's already there. Their chef can prepare you a great steak. Every meal can start with a John Boat salad bar that's got, 40, 50 options on it. They've taken one of their old boats and crafted it into a salad bar. It's a really neat deal. But the view of the White River, the amazing service, and the outstanding food will be the highlight of your weekend. Here's the number for a reservation, 870-431-5202. Call and make your reservation for this weekend at Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
This is Football Friday on the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Summertime in Arkansas means pond and creek fishing, and nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel crickhopper. You can twitch it, pop it, walk it, and swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The crickhopper works great in tandem with light spinning rods and reels with 4 or 6 pound fishing line. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. The Rebel crickhopper.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fenceman was my first call. The Fenceman does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fenceman does it. The Fenceman. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
I'm ready to roll right now, Ty. Have a great day.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. It's August, it's hot, and it's time to flip the lot. So we're giving you the best we've got. Save up to $6,000 on red tag clearance prices on a fantastic selection of road-ready certified used cars with warranty. Plus up to $2,000 extra for your trade and no payments for 90 days. They've all got to go. Right down to the bare asphalt. Get a great deal on a great car now and help us flip the lot. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Life.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett with River Valley Smile Center. We dial 782-8940.
Coach Todd Holland, head baseball coach of the University of Arkansas Fort Smith Lions. I call 782-8940.
Stay cool this summer with a York high-efficiency HVAC unit. Or for more information on endless hot water and high-efficiency tankless water heaters, give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
AAA Business Systems is your printer, copier, and production print solutions provider. What makes AAA unique? Ricoh, Sharp, and Brother Equipment. Fast, friendly service from our office technology experts. All-inclusive service contracts, managed IT services, and 4 locations statewide. AAA Business Systems. Find us online at AAABM.com. AAA Business Systems. Anything else is just a copy.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything. Service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSAuto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir. Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
A lot of negatives apparently from yesterday's scrimmage, but there were some positives too. I know some people won't let you believe that, but Landon Jackson apparently had a really good day. 3 sacks. Now, these are the touch sacks because they actually can't bring the quarterback to the ground. And he got asked after, it's like, it's keeping you motivated right now. Here's what he said.
I went into today with, I'm not going to say a different mindset because I go into every day with the mindset ready to work, but just knowing this is my last scrimmage as a Razorback, I wanted to, have a day, and I feel like I had a really successful day. Really just went in with a mindset to play relentless and really set the tone for the season. Yeah, that's really just how I came to practice today.
Tommy, you asked a good question earlier this week. Can Landon be the guy that sets up others because he requires so much attention, so much detail, so much game planning around, and I'm just hoping he expands his game even more to really help out the rest of Travis Williams' defense.
Stay healthy, stay healthy, stay healthy. We talk about those injuries that could derail plans. One or two, when you talk business, talk key people. He's key personnel. He's essential personnel. Keeping him healthy is maybe one of the most important aspects of the season.
Is he more equivalent to Derek Ruskin or Zach Harns?
He's maybe more. Who does payroll? He's more equivalent to who makes sure
Mary.
payroll gets out.
With Mary. I know she likes it. She's probably listed like that. You mentioned injuries, and Arkansas having to deal with one right now on the offensive line, and Patrick Kutas, the young man from Memphis. Coach Pitman got asked about, hey, kind of what his timeline is. Here's what Coach said.
We're continuing to get looks at him. We're hoping he's back as early as Monday. It could be as early as the next Monday, to be honest with you. So we're still waiting. He's in rehab right now, rehabbing that back, and he's feeling much better. We don't want to get him out there too fast so it doesn't complicate him the entire year. So we're being very, very cautious with him. And so really we're just going off of how he feels.
So either the week before game week or the week of game week, possibility. Backs linger, Tommy. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I feel like we're getting old. I feel like all injuries linger and ailments of some sort. But I just hope for Kutas' sake, it sounds like he's had a pretty good offseason prior to this injury.
Yeah, and he knows the position. He's not a rookie there, but he's also not, first team All-American either. He needs to practice and be ready, and there's conditioning, and there's just no one between years I can do it.
Yep. All right, that is your Hog Update this morning. It's brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Tommy, you were gone when our buddy Sean shared this incredible football story of him back in the day. We're going to play it coming up. But, Sean, it is a Football Friday. How are we doing this beautiful Friday, 13 days out from Razorback football?
Well, if I wasn't dripping with sweat from the heat, I'd be doing amazing.
What happened to the weather we had a week ago? Can we get that back?
Man, dream. Dream.
We used to think 90, was warm. 90 with low humidity last week was like heaven. And now we're back into the I don't know if we're in the oven or the deep fryer. Not sure which it is.
The air fryer. We've talked about a lot of air fryer.
We are in the air fryer, and
man,
and my guys are doing a great job. I'm so proud of them. They're toughing this out, so it's awesome.
I was went out to buy something at a shop last night, a store. My wife knew me to pick up on the way home, and it was like 7:30, and their landscape crew, their people to take care of their yard and their landscape. They were out there working at 7:45, because I know what they're working early in the morning, taking a break, and they were back working late last night because it wasn't as unpleasant. So, I mean, that's what some are having to do just to get work done in the dangerous heat right now.
My guys are at the shop 5 a.m. loading their trucks up. They're gone by 5:36, and I tell them by noon, 1:32 at the latest, y'all need to be wrapping up and coming in.
Yeah,
it's just we all want to make a decent paycheck, right? But we also need to make sure we're at work every day.
Yeah, I guess going back at night might be the thing to do. All right, let's get to it. It's our Fenceman Friday picks.
Fenceman Friday Picks. Call the Fenceman for all kinds of fences, controlled access, and custom iron projects. 479-782-3936. The Fenceman. We ain't afraid of no work.
I was a Van Buren Pointer dog back in the day, and I dated a girl who dated a guy from Alma. And during that process, he wasn't very nice to her. So we were playing them one night, and we did the kickoff, and I really didn't care where the ball went. I just had his numbers in my eyes. And I owe that guy an apology because he didn't know where that freight train came from.
And now he needs a fence.
So if he remembers that day back in 88, 89, something like that, I probably need to go see him and have a beer with him or whatever.
Somebody got ear hold, huh?
Yeah.
Was one of the funniest stories that's been told on this segment. I was cracking up, so I figured we would replay it this morning. Sean, we were talking a little bit earlier. You mentioned that 88, 89 playing days, which I'm sure you love Friday nights. Is there a football venue this fall, whether in Fayetteville or somewhere else that you're itching to get back to?
Everybody knows my wife's an Aggie, right? So we are always looking forward to going down to Jerry's house and watching the Razorbacks play. It's so much the environment down there because, both fans, whether you're a Razorback fan or an A&M fan, that parking lot is just packed with people with pre-gaming, the whole atmosphere, the energy of it all. It's just amazing. So I really enjoy going to that game. It's probably been one of the most fun games I've been to.
Even though it's painful.
It is painful. I hate to bring that up, but but
and it can be a long ride home for you sometimes.
We pass around a crow who has to eat crow this year, and unfortunately, I've had it a couple of years in a row. So
yeah.
So on that subject, Sean, what do you guys? I know the line. What do y'all think the line is for that Arkansas Texas A&M game on the Bet Saracen app right now?
Oh man, I haven't been paying much attention to where A&M is this year with their preseason and rankings, but I would have to say if we're going to go off history, A&M's probably got us by a touchdown, maybe two.
I'd say 7.5.
Yeah.
So right now, guys, if you go to the app, A&M is favored by 10.5. Now
there we go.
They've got a new head coach. It's August the 16th. We got a long way between that and September, I think, the 26th.
Mm-hmm.
Would you bet on Arkansas right now with that 10.5 points against the first-year head coach and Mike Elko? I'm going to. I'm going to lay a bet after as soon as we get done with this segment. Would you put 10.5 and would you get 10.5 points against Arkansas? They just got to lose.
If I was forced to do it today, I'd take the Hogs and the points.
Yeah. Yep. I'm with you on that. I have such great hope for our Hogs this season. I know all the reports y'all are talking about some practice aren't that good, but
it's one bad day.
It's one bad day, but you're talking about the quarterback. What about the guys who made the interceptions? Maybe they're that awesome.
Well,
apparently, yeah.
Maybe our defensive backs are just that good.
The starter only threw one. I keep reiterating that.
Tommy, say that one more time. I don't think
the starter only threw one.
Apparently, you mentioned that, Sean. Apparently, Metcalf has had himself quite an offseason. He's been apparently the guy to watch too. All right, that is your Fenceman Friday pick. One of the best stories ever told on this this program. Sean lined something up, and I guess Tommy he might have bought a fence from him too.
May have. Hey, it won't be long. We'll actually have real games to pick. We're moving towards that. Hey, now's the time of the year to be thinking about late fall, late year plans, even early 26 plans. I know you guys are already filling up the board for the end of the year.
Yes, we've been very blessed this year. All I can say is the guys that I have working for me build such a quality fence, and everybody shares that. And our customer base is amazing. My salesmen, they get out there and they really hustle. We try to follow through with the customers, so we're excited. So you need to give us a call because our schedule will fill up quick.
782-3936. Call my buddy Sean, the fence man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Robert.
And this is Elizabeth, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The only local, family, and alumni-owned Razorback store.
Yep, our names are on Senior Walk, and we understand what that charging Razorback means.
From new students to season ticket holders, we have everything you need.
From floor coverings, wall art, game room items, and other stuff to decorate your home or dorm room.
To things for your pet or all sorts of clothing, we have it all.
We feature brands like Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, Columbia, and many, many others, all in the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
Your dad's side's starting to go viral.
Hey, what is that a new thing? Can I get a pill or a shot for that?
Anyway, you can call us at 479-STADIUM or 479-782-3486.
Or drop by the store at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum-Walker Stadium in Fayetteville. Or if you need to, you can shop us online at them Gram things.
Dad, let me do this. What he means is our website, which is shoponrazorback.com.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Work now, pay later with sizzling savings at WT Equipment. No money down, no interest, and no payments until 2025 on select New Holland equipment. Choose 0 for 60 or up to 10,000 cash back plus free net wrap on roll belt round balers. 0 for 72 or up to 10,000 cash back on mid-range tractors, or 0 for 72 plus an additional 2,000 cash back on a new compact. Work smarter with no money down, no interest, and no payments on your choice of the summer's hottest deals at WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
This is the Morning Rush.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
It's a stunning way to go somewhere new in the 2024 Buick Encore GX from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Right now, get up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers on the Buick Encore GX. The Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% on the 2024 Buick Encore GX. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fenceman was my first call. The Fenceman does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fenceman does it. The Fenceman. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season. From baseball, golf, soccer, right to all the top fights in UFC, MMA, and boxing. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BELIEVE for your 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. Bet online. The game starts here.
This song hit number 2 without one guitar. Gary Wright traveled with George Harrison to India for spiritual enlightenment and wrote Dream Weaver, describing God as infinite love and compassion, seeing him through the trials of the night. Of the 330 million gods of Hinduism, not one will get you to the morning light, but only through the blood of Jesus Christ. Satan is a master deceiver, weaving many into make-believers. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fenceman was my first call. The Fenceman does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-39.
With Ty Richardson.
I'm a peacock! You gotta let me fly!
And Tommy Kraft.
They're gonna go nuts when he hits this thing.
Produced by Christian Johnston. Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Let's stand up and call those.
So your head football coach there talking about yesterday's scrimmage, which didn't sound like went great for the Arkansas offense. We'll jump into that coming up in just a bit as we're live in the third hour of a Football Friday. Now, it's not just Arkansas high school. It's not just high school football. It's also fantasy football. I know some of you, many of you actually probably partake in it. Now, we have other coworkers here that participate. I've tried for 6 years now to get Tommy to play fantasy football. He has friends that do it, but no chagrin. Maybe our next guest, Scott Barrett, with fantasy points, we'll be able to convince him as we're basically 3 weeks out from the NFL season, Tommy.
You're on a draft weekend, right?
I got 3 weeks. Yeah, in the
yeah. My wife would love for me to have another weekend away with the guys. I'd love to be able to explain to her. Well, honey, I'm leaving again. Another golf trip? No, honey, this is a fantasy football draft.
Well, you can do it. You can do it remotely and stuff. Not all of us can make it to the.
Well, no, if you're going to be in, you got to be all in. You know,
all in. Yeah.
Maybe that is the reason to go. You get another weekend out.
Draft capital of the world, Town, Arkansas. Who would have guessed?
Hey, attention, man! If you're over 30, Ty's going to be there soon, and you're feeling tired, that's me. If you gained a little weight, I've done okay there lately, but I could lose some. Or if you're just not quite yourself, it may be low testosterone. MD Hair Labs and Vitality, they're right here in Northwest Arkansas. They specialize in testosterone replacement therapy. You may have heard it called TRT or seen that online somewhere. TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. Three convenient options and one convenient location right here in Northwest Arkansas to fit your lifestyle. They have weekly in-clinic injections, so you can stop by there once a week if that works for you. At-home prescriptions, or I'm going to tell you, this is the way to go. The TRT pellet program, which requires you to only stop in the clinic once every 4 to 6 months. They're conveniently located in Rogers. They're right near Top Golf. See your friends there, and then go over to MD Hair Labs and Vitality. They make it easy for you to get the treatment you need. All right, here's the deal. $49 for your initial consultation. MD Hair Labs is currently offering this great deal for a limited time, $49, and it's a great opportunity to find out what your testosterone level is. They'll do you a test. In about 20 minutes, you can see if you would benefit from this program. Go to mdhairlabs.com. That's mdhairlabs.com to schedule your visit. That's mdhairlabs.com. Just $49 and reclaim your energy and health with MD Hair and Vitality.
I'm super excited to welcome in Scott Barrett of Fantasy Points. Now, I want to start a non-fantasy question. There is no better Matt Jones fan than our guy Scott Barrett. For those that haven't seen his social media picture, it is a picture of him at a pool table with a Matt Jones retro Jacksonville Jaguars shirt. Scott, as we go back to Matt's NFL days, as he's a coworker and a friend of ours, what drew you to Mr. Matt Jones?
Well, it has to be the electric highlight reel dating back to college, his days at Arkansas. It has to be the glorious mustache. It has to be the fact that he is one of the most athletic players in NFL history. Like, if you look at his spider chart of his combine versus Calvin Johnson, it's like they're basically tied, which is insane. That he was a quarterback, immediately drafted round 1, converted to wide receiver. Why wouldn't Matt Jones be your favorite player of all time?
Scott, I need the details of where you got that shirt, because I want to show up one day to work in it and just look at Matt's face when he sees me sporting that. We'll post a picture of it after the interview, but it's great. So happy to have Scott in with us this morning. Scott, I've tried for 6 years with my co-host to get him into fantasy football. He has refused to. You're an expert in this category. Why should Tommy participate in fantasy football?
Oh, I'd love to hear this.
Why not? I feel like, you're just being like a contrarian to be a contrarian at this point. It's like
I would never do that.
Someone in their 40s who's never watched The Godfather. It's like, how have you not seen it by now? It's just a blast. I'd say give it a shot. I feel like 9 times out of 10, you become addicted. You get it right away. Is there a reason why you're not playing?
I blamed it on time, and I don't know if that's a good excuse. I fear missing the deadline to get your roster and your team set each week, and then I end up in one of these ridiculous punishments that Ty and his buddies talk about. I don't want to be in a Waffle House eating a waffle every hour for 2 days. Right. I guess that's one of my pushbacks.
Okay, so it's rare for most leagues to have a serious last place punishment, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. And then there's also different types of fantasy leagues you could join. You could join best ball leagues where you never have to worry about deadlines or waivers or start-sit decisions, or you could just play in a more casual league where people are more forgiving of that. Yeah, I think you have plenty of options. I think your concerns are overstated, and Ty and I are going to have to get you into a good league that fits what you're trying to do.
See, I wish we had SEC football fantasy leagues, that were more, and maybe there's one out there and I'm not aware, that were more prominent. That would be more up my alley. But listen, I know I am the outsider. I know I am the exception, not the rule in this case. But I always do love hearing about these wild punishments, Scott. What of all your years around this, what is the wildest punishment for the loser of a fantasy league you've stumbled across?
Yeah, I heard someone did 48 hours in a Waffle House, which is I don't know why 24 to 48 hours. That's just 2 days of your life. That's rough. I did want to say
2 days took 2 years off your life. That's probably what happened.
Yeah. I did want to say, by the way, there are college football SEC fantasy football leagues out there. So,
there you go, Tommy.
Yeah.
Well, Scott, I want to tie this in.
Someone I know, Scott, had to dress up like Harley Quinn and go to a Comic-Con once. But if you got questions on that, Scott, you're free to ask who it might be that's on this interview.
No one wants to see that. That took a year off.
That might be worse than the Waffle House for 48 hours.
Well, Scott, not like Tommy. Tommy mentioned him being the minority, but not everyone plays. But I'm going to tie this into the NFL. Dak Prescott obviously going through contract negotiations right now with Jerry and Stephen Jones and their management. Just tie that into what you think maybe is going to happen with that situation and how that could affect him fantasy-wise too.
Yeah, I'll be completely honest. I'm not a cap guy. Like when I went to fantasy analyst school, I got A's in everything, and I got F's in cap stuff. So I really have no idea. I will just say from a fantasy perspective, it's not great that CeeDee Lamb is not there, hasn't been there. I was talking to an NFL insider, 2 years ago when Deebo Samuel had his holdout, and he was like, do not draft Deebo, avoid at all costs. He showed up to camp overweight. The team is pissed at him. He wanted to do a bunch of new stuff on offense. He wasn't there to learn it. So he's behind on against Ayuk and all that. And he had a pretty terrible, lousy year for, compared to what he did the previous season. So you worried about that a little bit with CeeDee Lamb, but even if that's not the case, let's say he shows up and he's in perfect shape, he looks awesome. It's also the fact that he hasn't been there. And so, it's given Brandon Cooks, it's given Jake Ferguson a chance to improve their rapport, their chemistry with Dak Prescott. So maybe we see them a little bit more involved, or we have a better grasp on the playbook and maybe, new wrinkles we wanted to add to that this offseason. So I'd say those are some things to keep in mind this offseason. But in terms of how is Dallas going to be able to afford both of them, I don't know. I feel like they'll probably get something done, and probably, again, I'm not a cap guy. I'd say CeeDee Lamb gets done in a few weeks, and then maybe Dak next offseason, but hopefully before then. I don't know.
We're talking with Scott Barrett this morning, a little fantasy, a little NFL football, tying in both. Scott, Kansas City's the other big team in our market, and they went 2 straight. Last season did not go according to plan necessarily in the regular season, but they ended where they wanted to. No team has repeated 3 straight times in the Super Bowl era. Your thoughts on maybe what Mahomes, Kelsey look like as fantasy players, and is this the team that finally does it in the history of the National Football League?
Oh, man. Yeah, you don't want to bet against Kansas City. I'd have to say, their odds of winning the Super Bowl this year have to be first or second best of any team in football. Probably them or the 49ers, again, who did run really bad with injury luck, particularly in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're a juggernaut team. They have this amazing defense, as we saw last year. They really won with their defense, and then they considerably upgraded their offense. They added some speed in Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy, two of the fastest wide receivers of all time, literally. Also really talented route runners. And so that's something that's been missing from this offense for a few years now is, Kansas City has been getting that too high coverage, and they've kind of been dinking and dunking their way to these touchdowns. They've lost that I think Patrick Mahomes last year during the regular season only had 2 deep passing touchdowns. So like throws 20+ yards through the air. I mean, Baker Mayfield had like 19. And so, yeah, they really lost that deep element to their game. And I think by getting Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, you bring that back. I think that just opens up Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce underneath. You asked about Kelce's fantasy potential. You've heard Andy Reid say this. You've heard Travis Kelce say this, and I'm a little worried about this. I'm worried that they're just going to intend on preserving him for the playoffs, and so that's going to hurt you in your fantasy playoffs. He's going to be and before that as well, he's going to be a 50 to 60% route share guy, which, like, as good as Kelce isn't really going to get it done for fantasy. That's the concern. We'll have to wait and see on that, but yeah, just all the speed around him. I think he seems set up for success, or at least better efficiency than we saw last year during the regular season.
Well,
right,
Tommy,
Scott, Ty and all of his buddies, they've rented this Airbnb for the weekend. You threw in some very smart-sounding football cliches there with too high coverage and talking about route running. When you get down to the draft, what are some of the things and some of the terminology you need to throw out just to make sure you sound like the smartest guy in the room that really knows nothing? What are some of the key DB phrases you need to be throwing out there during your draft to just intimidate everybody into thinking, hey, this guy knows his football, and he really knows nothing? Because Ty.
It's me to a T.
This is Ty. This is really a question and an answer that's pointed directly at Ty.
Well, I'd say check out the Fantasy Points data suite. We have a bunch of tools that can help you sound smart. Our favorite
tools for tools. All right, good.
We're 2 weeks away from it. I think it's going to be the greatest wide receiver stat ever invented. It's called average separation score. It looks at a player's average separation on each route, on each play, in each game to tell you who the best separators are. And so if you want to say Tank Dell had the best average separation score of any wide receiver against cover 1, cover 3,
cover 1, yeah,
the 9 route, the curl route. You can have that with the Fantasy Points data suite.
Yeah.
Let's go. That's like,
and you need to say some of these things as you're pulling your glasses off. Drop some of these terms where you really, got people.
Got a thick booklet. Tommy.
Yeah, maybe chewing on the edge of your reading glasses as you're pouring over your material. I mean, really go the whole way with this thing, Ty.
Tommy, you remember the SEC Media Days? Saban got asked about 12 personnel, and then he's like, do you know what 12 personnel is? And the reporter actually gave the answer correctly back.
That's a good one, Ty. You need to show up and talk about 21 personnel, 11 personnel. I'm taking this guy because he's really good in 11 personnel. That's what you need to say.
Scott, I am happy that you've given Tommy an avenue to SEC fantasy football. I'm hoping he takes you up on that. We'll have to wait and see. Earlier in the program, we talked about, I know you're busy a lot of weekends just working from the house or the office, but you probably gotten a chance to attend a stadium or venue. We mentioned our venues that we want to attend this fall. Do you have one earmarked for this upcoming calendar year of an NFL or college stadium that you're going to get to visit in conjunction with work and everything?
Oh, yeah, I can't get away during the weekends, but I used to be a New York Giants season ticket holder for 25 years, would go to every single home game.
That's MetLife, right?
Yeah, well, and the old stadium as well, which, by the way, was so much better. I don't know why they paved that over and made a new one.
Yeah, that's that is a good one. I've been there one time, Scott. That was back in, it was actually post Twin Towers, which was kind of scary. It was 2003, 2004, something like that. Well, Scott, we appreciate it. I'm hoping that was enough of a window to get Tommy into somewhat fantasy football, maybe college, maybe a listener or two is like, well, I kind of want to play SEC fantasy football too.
Should Ty show up this weekend and claim he's been doing film study?
I can't wait to come on next year and find out you're addicted to SEC fantasy and you have 50 teams and you're living in a Waffle House, you're paying rent.
Yeah. I'm out of time for addictions, though. That's the problem in my life.
Golf, radio, sports, it's tough. Scott, I know you got plenty of stuff to get ready for this season. We appreciate you joining us this morning and having some fun.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, Scott.
Again, I'm dead serious, Tommy. I just posted the picture on our social media. If you have not seen this picture of the shirt that he sports of Matt Jones, it's one of the greatest pictures I think I've ever seen.
So what is the what
are you about to say?
Well, I can't say what I want to say, but what's some of the phrases you're going to use this weekend to try to impress your buddies? I know you've got some of them. You're going to try to be the smartest guy in the room. Listen, I know what I'm talking about. I'm on the radio. I know you've got some of this stuff in your arsenal for this weekend to try to try to one up your buddies at your fantasy draft.
Well, I
think film study. You need to show up and claim you've been doing film study.
I think it's
not
just
watching film. I've been studying.
No,
film.
Here's the thing. You just say, well, because I'm in radio, I have an inside source that CeeDee Lamb is going to side with the Dallas Cowboys coming up here in a few weeks.
No inside source.
Yeah, none at all. None at all.
Bluff.
You just play the idea of that what could happen potentially with trades and signings, and that they don't have that access because they're not on ESPN radio. So that's where I'm going to come from. In terms of being a DB, that's the angle I'm going to take here.
Yes.
This weekend.
Yes,
so.
Very important in your fantasy draft. Well, I can't believe you didn't have all the guys over to the new pool house at your place, but one insider you had to help you was Jeff and the team at Weichert Realty, the Griffin Company. They're in Fort Smith. They're in Northwest Arkansas. They're in Branson, Missouri. Ty, when it came time to buy your new home, Jeff was on the mark.
Yes. Yes, Jeff Marks helped me literally. I'm not kidding when I tell you I texted him probably 100 times during this process. Y'all know I'm dumb. The housing market thing was just so out of realm, so out of anything I understood. He helped me. Brandon Lawn, who runs the company, I actually talked to him a couple years back about this possibility, and he really got this thing started. Mackenzie Keene's a former friend of mine, a friend of mine that used to work there. She helped me along this as well. So had 3 or 4 people, honestly, within that office that helped me from start to finish. Eternally grateful, and honestly grateful for Chuck for making the connection, because it would not be possible without our friend Chuck Barrett. Tommy, that process is a lot more convoluted and complicated than I thought. I thought it was just you swipe your card, you're good to go. Turns out that's not the case.
A little tougher than your fantasy lineup, right?
A little bit.
All right, Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. Find them in Northwest Arkansas, Fort Smith, and Branson, Missouri.
Let's talk to Philip, who's in Bentonville. He's called in after our buddy Scott Barrett chimed in with us this morning. Philip, what do you have on your mind?
Good morning. I've got a
question.
So my question is this. Is the issue with Sam Pittman, is it kind of going to be down the road that it was a few years with Mike Anderson, where they, you had coaches that were not successful, and you bring in a guy that Arkansas knew that he was loved, and he comes in and he kind of builds that up, and then he goes on and no one's mad and all this stuff, and then they bring in the coach to take him to the next level. Are we seeing this possibly again?
You have to Philip, I heard that, but you're going to have to repeat that one more time for me.
So my question is you had Pelfrey and everybody, and then they brought in Mike Anderson for basketball. Yeah. Oh, and then he came in, kind of brought the state back up, kind of fixed some of the problems that the issues were, and then they went on, they hired the next one, and we stepped up. Are we going down the same road in football that we did with Mike Anderson in basketball?
I think that's a comparison, Tommy, that people have made.
I think Pitman, and that was kind of where I thought you were driving at. Is he going to leave it better off than he found it? I don't think it could be any worse than where
he
got handed to Pitman. And I think they're digging out of some of this hole. And then, COVID was a big enough sea change for everyone in society. And then you have transfer portal and NIL and all these things on top of all this. With so much change to digest at once. And I don't know that Arkansas had the tools and the resources and the personnel and the coaches and all and everything that goes in place to capitalize on that. They were hoping to levelize a playing field, and I just think the rich got richer out of this. But back to your question, I think Sam Pitman was brought in to improve the situation and leave it better than he found it. I think he'll get that done. I think he's already gotten that done.
Yeah.
But, I don't know that Sam Pittman's going to be one to carry you back to a 10-win season either. But is he setting the table for the next one to do that? We'll find out. Fantasy draft weekend for Ty, and I know a lot of you out there. One place you could take your group is TGI Fridays. They're in Fort Smith. They got happy hour. They got karaoke on Tuesdays and Thursdays and 50-cent wings on Monday. So now is a great time to get to TGI Fridays. They also have meal deals starting at $9.99, which include an entree, a side, and a fountain drink. They got 6 different delicious, including a 6-ounce sirloin that you can choose with seasoned fries for $15.99. They got chicken Caesar salads for $10.99 and many more other options. TGI Fridays, 540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Tide be the place to have your fantasy draft.
Oh, it's an awesome place. That bar, Cajun chicken and shrimp pasta. You can't go
50-cent
wrong.
wings. Can't beat it.
This is Football Friday on the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Robert.
And this is Elizabeth, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The only local, family, and alumni-owned Razorback store.
Yep, our names are on Senior Walk, and we understand what that charging Razorback means.
From new students to season ticket holders, we have everything you need.
From floor coverings, wall art, game room items, and other stuff to decorate your home or dorm room.
To things for your pet or all sorts of clothing, we have it all.
We feature brands like Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, Columbia, and many, many others, all in the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
You know, your dad's site's starting to go viral.
Hey, what is that a new thing? Can I get a pill or a shot for that?
Anyway, you can call us at 479 Stadium or 479-782-3486.
Or drop by the store at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium in Fayetteville. Or if you need to, you can shop us online at them Gram things.
Dad, let me do this. What he means is our website, which is shoponrazorback.com.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Hey, this is Arkansas pitcher Gabe Gacko, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
He struck him out swinging on a breaking ball.
Back at Road Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway in Van Buren with Grant Neal. Grant, I love trucks, and you guys have a great selection of trucks right now.
Well, we're really proud that the manufacturer's stepping up and making the deals really, really great on these new trucks. I mean, I've got a new Silverado right now, $39,896. We've got brand new 2500 HD Duramax diesel trucks with over $3,000 off. I've got a half-ton 1500 6.2-liter V8 Chevy Crew Cab with over $7,000 off, and actually it could be over $8,000 off if you have a qualifying trade-in. Now that GM Financial's stepping up with these great rates, we've got rates as low as 1.9% for well-qualified buyers on select vehicles with a 90-day deferral. That means you buy the car and you don't have a payment for 3 months. I mean, these are the kinds of deals we've been waiting for all year long.
It's Road Chevrolet. You better get here today. 2800 Alma Highway in Van Buren, Arkansas's favorite car dealer.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
When you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. But you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we can do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbor since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of, everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Chuck is a living legend in this state. And anytime I get to talk to Chuck, it's a privilege and an honor to speak to you. And as long as you, Ty, you know you're a little vet time of year.
He's going for the tie. What a game by the senior from Mariana. He was out for 3 or 4 plays. He comes back in and makes the play of the game for the Razorbacks.
Subscribe to the Bud Light Morning Rush podcast. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, and share.
There's something special about a kid from Arkansas making a big play at the end of the game. And, of course, that was Carlos Hall, the block and the rock back in 2001, hoping that not just some fellow Arkansas kids, but also some other Arkansas Razorbacks make some plays this season. Apparently that's what TJ Metcalf has been doing. Now, he's not from Arkansas, but he's really stepped up his game in the secondary. Him and his brother have had a pretty good offseason, according to Coach. We'll talk about them coming up in just a bit as we're live on the Morning Rush here on a Football Friday. Now, Tommy, the thing about this compound is it's got a place you can fish.
Oh.
I think our friend Larry Rath would enjoy that. I think he'd. I think, Larry, there's some fishing spots out here that you could have your way with here this weekend.
Where are you guys at?
We're in Tawnytown, Arkansas, the fantasy draft capital of the world, man.
I'm here in the studio slaving over a hot microphone, getting, got to keep this whole thing on my back since Ty's off, sloughing off today.
Yeah. Yeah, that's.
I'm sorry, Tommy.
Yeah, well, it's how it normally is around here. So.
Well,
I know.
Larry, we were talking. I stopped by the Monte Key Car Care Center this week, and appreciate you guys taking care of me. But we honestly didn't really talk cars. We talked a little fishing. Every once in a while, you told me a story. Things don't always go according to plan, even if you prepare for it.
Oh, absolutely. Especially when you're fishing these tailwaters. You get there and they're running water to generate when they're not supposed to. I got run off by the horn twice last week. It's very frustrating.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes your car doesn't work out like you want it to, and that's why you stop in the Monte Key Car Care Center, both in Springdale and Fort Smith, and in and out about an hour, and you're good to go and good to hit the open road, man.
Absolutely. And, they just take care of everything for you. You don't have to worry about your car all the time. Come on into the Monte Key Car Care Center. Philip and his bunch, you met those guys, just a great bunch of guys. They like to hustle and really work for folks' business and try to keep their customers happy and do a terrific job of taking care of their vehicles for them. And then, we've got that technology, too, that helps us keep up with everything on your car. We're doing a complete inspection every time you come in. Those measurements are sent to you, via text.
let you know what's going on with your car, what you need to be thinking of next, and just kind of keep you ahead of it. And that's the whole game with maintenance, is staying just a step ahead of your vehicle's needs, and we're doing that for you all the time in the Meineke Car Care Center. So you can quit worrying about it. We'll take care of you in the Meineke Car Care Center. Now, what really needs to happen this weekend, folks, if you're thinking about trading, this is the time. We're flipping the lot, and that means that everything's got to go. We're going to flip all this inventory. We're going to bring in new inventory. And the way we're doing that, up to $6,000 discounts on these vehicles that we're selling on the lot right now. And there's a big selection, road-ready certified with warranty, cars, trucks, SUVs. We've got hang tags in every window to show you how much that car was and how much it is now and how much you're saving. Savings up to $6,000. Plus, we got to replace all those cars. We got to fill the lot back up. Doing that with trade-ins, up to $2,000 extra for your trade right now at Rath Auto Resource. So another great reason to trade, and up to 90 days for your first payment. So we're really kind of throwing the kitchen sink at it, making it so easy for you to get that newer, nicer car that you've been waiting on at Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale, lots of exciting things going on there. Some new incentives just announced for the Mitsubishi products, great interest rates, big rebates. We've got a big inventory. If you haven't seen the new lineup of Mitsubishis, come on out and check that out, particularly the 24 Outlander, and we've got a good selection. Come on out, take a test drive, see what's great about these Mitsubishis, including the 5-year, 60,000-mile full coverage warranty, 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and like I said, the big discounts. But just a terrific car, just a beautiful car and a fun car to drive, all the latest tech. And just a terrific car that ought to be on your list. If it's not, come in, take a quick test drive. We think you'll agree. It's a great lineup of vehicles and a great value for your money at Rath Mitsubishi. So lots of good things going on. We'd like to see you this weekend. Come and see us. Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Check out the Meineke Car Care Centers at each location, or check us out online at rathauto.com.
Larry's not going to be fishing. He's going to be there this weekend like a good boss he is.
Too hot to fish.
All right. Larry, have yourself a good weekend, brother.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good one. Folks, come see us.
All right, earlier in the show, we were kind of talking a little Sam Pitman. That's what David in Russellville wants to talk about. David, I'm sorry to cut you off. We got about 45 seconds for you. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I just think that Sam Pitman and Bobby Patrino wants to be offensive coordinator. I don't think he wants to be a head coach. And I feel like we got the best offensive line coach in America, Sam Pitman. We got the best offensive coordinator. And Tommy just made the comment a minute ago, Sam Pitman doesn't have a 10-win season in him. But, hey, listen, we had a crappy team last year, and how many one-score losses did we have?
5.
4?
5.
4? 5?
Yep.
Now, do you tell me Bobby Petrino's not worth one score?
That's what we've been saying that. I think he's worth 7 points a game.
I'd say at least 7.
But you're not going to get all so it may turn 4 into 7 wins, but jumping from 4 to 10 is a different conversation. I agree with you. I think Patrino is worth every bit of a touchdown a game.
Thanks, David.
Appreciate the call. Good thought there, David. Brought to you by Arkansas Golf and Power Sports. Go see my buddies Chris and Ben and their team. If you want a golf cart for your neighborhood to get around, to get over to see buddies, to get to community pool, tennis courts, pickleball, whatever, they can fix you up with a custom cart for that. I needed one to get to the golf course and have all my stuff where I wanted it, when I wanted it, with custom seats that are comfortable. I even got heated seats in mine, which is a new option that's available. I wanted some Razorback flair to mine. They made that happen. Custom audio, electronics, all available. Lifts, custom wheels and tires. Whatever you can imagine, they can make it happen. Arkansas Golf and Power Sports in Fayetteville, just off the Garland exit on North McConnell. And they're online as well at arpowersports.com.
This is Football Friday on the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Whether you are fishing a jetty on the Arkansas River or working around laydowns at Beaver, Washita, or Table Rock, the Heddon Super Spook Jr. is the topwater bait to call up summer bass. The Super Spook Jr. is a smaller version of the world's most famous topwater lure. The Spook is the original walk-the-dog lure and has been tricking big bass for almost 100 years. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. The Heddon Super Spook Jr.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fenceman was my first call. The Fenceman does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fenceman does it. The Fenceman. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is former Arkansas Razorback and current OKC Thunder guard Isaiah Joe, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Patriot Transport wants to thank their drivers for their hard work and dedication. The local and over-the-road drivers are essential to the Patriot Transport mission. Day in and day out, Patriot Transport drivers are on the road striving for safety and success. To the behind-the-scenes dispatch and office employees, Patriot Transport thanks them as well for the hard work they put in day and night. If you want to be a part of the Patriot Transport family, visit patriottransport.com. Patriot Transport is located in Danville, Arkansas.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. It's August, it's hot, and it's time to flip the lot. So we're giving you the best we've got. Save up to $6,000 on red tag clearance prices on a fantastic selection of road-ready certified used cars with warranty. Plus up to $2,000 extra for your trade and no payments for 90 days. They've all got to go. Right down to the bare asphalt. Get a great deal on a great car now and help us flip the lot. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
Are you interested in saving money on your heating bills and upgrading your home's energy efficiency? Now's the time. Installing or upgrading to natural gas allows you to take advantage of high-efficiency appliances that save energy and money. From furnaces to water heaters to gas dryers and fireplaces, there's a natural gas option to fit your home and your budget. What's not to love about that? Don't wait. Call AOG today at 800-842-5690 or visit AOGC.com to learn more. AOG, energy for life.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
If you are involved in a divorce or custody case, you want an attorney you can trust to guide you through the process. The attorneys at Hickey & Hull Law Partners have over 7 decades of combined experience. Hickey & Hull have seen and heard nearly every scenario you can imagine, ready to put that experience to work for you to get the best results. Visit kevinhickeylaw.com or give them a call today, 479-434-2414. Hickey & Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Summertime in Arkansas means pond and creek fishing, and nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel crick hopper. You can twitch it, pop it, walk it, and swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The crick hopper works great in tandem with light spinning rods and reels with 4 or 6 pound fishing line. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. The Rebel crick hopper.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Except we've got SEC finals. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
So like Arkansas, other SEC teams are going through fall camp, and that's where we start here in your SEC update. Now, tell me, how many times have we said Taylor Green has not thrown 8 interceptions this morning? Like 10? But yeah. People, I think, still think from social media that he has. Here, again, it's a combination of a bunch of quarterbacks. Here's Coach yesterday, post-scrimmage, on kind of what maybe led to the interceptions.
Yeah, it's concerning. It's concerning whether it was him or somebody else, to be honest with you. But of the first 4, 3 of them were tip balls, which has to do with catching the ball and accuracy of throwing the football. I know there was at least 2 of those 3 that if we just catch the ball, it's not it's a completion. And interceptions, you look at them on the quarterback a lot of times, all of us do, but a lot of times it's on catching the football, running the correct route, accuracy, and certainly the protection of the offensive line.
So apparently the offensive line protected one good either. Now we got to.
Sounds like they just had a bad overall offensive practice.
Yeah, we got a text. This is a strong text from Cody in Lavaca saying, "Stop saying Pitman is the best offensive line coach in the country. You have nothing to back that up in 6 years." I'll say that again. Just some stats for you, Cody. They had the number 1 Power 5 rushing attack ground game in 2021. They followed up with the exact same rushing statistics, tied for 7th in the country that next year. Just won number 1 in Power 5. So, I mean, they weren't great defensively in 2022. That's what kind of hurt them. But that's how kind of Arkansas fans feel like guys. They're frustrated that supposedly Coach, and it's not supposedly, it is his background. That hasn't been necessarily what they thought it would be since he's been here outside of maybe 2021. When
it comes to coaching and technique, I think he's still probably the best in the business, but he's the head coach. He's not the offensive line coach. And I know that, he kind of jokingly said he's the oldest GA in the country, but it still comes back to why was Sam Pittman so great for so long? He got great players, particularly when he went to Georgia. So, I mean, when you start with some of the best prospects, you can turn them into NFL talents. And I think in this portal world, they've had a hard time getting, top shelf prospects or enough of them routinely across that line. Let's get through a game or two and let's see. I mean, I think there's too much overreaction to one practice with a bad headline of 8 interceptions this morning.
Yeah. Now, one of those interceptions, and in fact, I think it was 2, was TJ Metcalf, who apparently has had a pretty good offseason. If any player they talked about, I feel like they've said he's either the most improved or up near the top. Here's what Coach had to say about him yesterday.
Him and Hud, they're battling it out back there, and he made some really nice tackles, too. Both those Metcalf kids, they're hard-working guys, and football's important to them, and I love them both. TJ's probably more improved right now than a lot of guys on the team. And it's just because his work ethic. He's always been a good athlete, but he's worked his way into a really solid football player.
So I know that's a position group, Tommy, that Coach Pitman has kind of said, I don't know if he's necessarily said they're worried about. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he didn't seem as competent. That's probably the better way I should frame it when it comes to that secondary group. Maybe TJ's a guy that they didn't necessarily count on to take this big of a jump, and he can help you out.
Certainly sounds like he's had a good camp to this point. That's for sure.
All right, last thing here. Now, Christian, jump in on this with us. Dak Prescott, of course, in the headlines. We talked with Scott Barrett about him a little bit, a little fantasy as well earlier in the hour. He kind of had a joke towards the media members, former Mississippi State quarterback, about them holding out.
You guys get paid pretty well to write headlines and to do your job, and respectively so, but I can't allow that to affect how I get paid in my job. You don't get paid well? A couple of y'all need to start holding out too there.
I thought that was pretty funny, Tommy.
I don't. Anyway, It's funny line at the end, but I mean, comparing what a rider gets paid to NFL quarterback is battleships to bumper cars.
No, Christian, maybe we should hold out the rest of fall camp. Maybe we should. In order to get ready.
I don't know if
Go
that
ahead and
works.
give
It
that
doesn't
a
work
try.
the same
We're
way.
gonna give this a whirl. We're gonna see how valuable we are to this organization. I'm holding out after this show until we get our demands.
Till Monday morning.
Until Monday morning at 6 a.m. I'm holding out after this, even though I have a half day scheduled directly after this. Till
I can only imagine how that would go.
Oh, it would not.
Oh, I don't have to imagine. I don't have to imagine at all how that would go.
Hey, Chuck, you're doing double time now. That's how it would go. All right, that is your SEC update here on the Morning Rush Football Friday.
Brought to you by River City Coatings. Whether it's a small or large project, River City Coatings can powder coat anything you need. Powder coating, some people think it's paint. Well, it's not. It's more than that. It becomes part of the metal. It can withstand chemicals, abrasions, and more. And if you need something powder coated, the only place you should even think about going is River City Coatings. They've got over 25 years of experience. They have a variety of colors. And what sets them apart is how quickly they can get the project done. Let me tell you, I had 2 small pieces of metal that I needed to bolt onto my golf cart. And I mean, when we talk about small projects, this is about as small a project as you're going to have. I took it over there to their location in Van Buren. They called me the next day. In fact, it's less than 24 hours, and it was done, and it was affordable. Powder coating is not only stronger than paint, it's better for the environment. There's no drips or oversprays, and over time, the process can save your investment. We're talking about patio furniture, rims, brakes, calipers that go on the brakes as well, farm equipment parts, pretty much anything that's metal that you don't ever want to have to maintenance or paint again. Powder coating's the way to go. And again, I just gave you an example of something I had on a very small scale. They can do large scale projects as well. River City Coatings are in Van Buren on Sycamore. Call them at 471-7675. All the guys and gals there are very friendly. 471-7675, or go online at rivercitycoatings.com.
Couple reaction texts to that last thing. Jesse Mounthome says, sounds like ESPN is going to have another job shift coming up here in a few days. JT in Hot Springs, Tommy says, I advise you as a friend not to hold out.
Yeah. May have a little more of the Jerry Jones approach. Not a lot of sense of urgency here.
I can't afford to hold out.
I've already broke him.
You got him.
He's already crossed the union line.
I can't afford.
You're not supposed to say that out loud.
I can't afford it.
Yeah,
I just can't afford it.
Oh, that's pretty good. Big C, we didn't ask you earlier. I know you're going to the UAB game with your family. Do you have a venue? I don't know if you're going to make your way back to your hometown. Do you have a football venue that you're wanting to get to this fall that you're most excited to get to?
If we're looking at the Razorback schedule, I'm not going to this game, but based on the schedule, Stillwater, I would like to go there. Arlington, I've never actually been to Arlington for a Razorback A&M game, but I don't really have that desire. I'm just
been
ready.
there for a Cowboys game?
I've been for a Cowboys game like a long time ago, but
I hadn't been there since the Cotton Bowl that they played Kansas State. It's been. I'm planning to go to a Cowboy game this year in Arlington, but you can't double dip this year. But yeah, it's been a little while since I've been to Jerry World.
We got Tommy. When I asked that question earlier, I would say it was predominantly high schools that we got.
Honestly, I'd like to go to War Memorial again, but that
okay. Explain that.
Just because I haven't been there in a long time, and it's just the fan base. Seeing Arkansas fans in a different venue, and
Tommy, you got to remember, me and Christian are in that neck of the woods. That War Memorial is a bleep hole to you, but that's like our nostalgia.
Now I wouldn't say that because I come from a different perspective, but in my world, in the high school football world, and the fishing world, getting to be a War Memorial is a special deal. So
yeah.
I think about War Memorial more so in today's time. I think about when I was in high school, and I went to Fort Smith Southside. They got to play some championship games there. I broadcasted games from there. I've gotten to officiate games there. So no, I don't think about it in the way that you think I do, but I have a different perspective on it than probably
let's reframe
from most people.
From a college standpoint.
From a college standpoint,
it's different.
nope.
High school,
it is. I mean, you just look at it. It doesn't meet the standard of an SEC program.
It has its purpose, and listen, there's no one that loved watching Carlos Hall or watching Matt do his thing. I was in the back corner of that end zone when he threw it to Corey. That place will always be near and dear to my heart, but again, and I get where you're coming from, Christian. You'll hopefully, knock on wood, where's some wood at? One of the final 2 games played in that stadium is Arkansas Razorbacks. You never know, but this year, next year against
it's
Arkansas
more of about
State.
a fehere for me, like the nostalgia, and that it's not really about it's a nice stadium and
like when
conjures up old memories.
I remember. So here's what I would do. Here's what I would say. So when you walked, you had me come in your office. This was like 2 or 3 years ago when we hired Matt, and it's like, hey, I have an opportunity. Matt wants to get back in radio, and we were transitioning on, and I first thing I thought of was being in that stadium. That's just it's always going to be like that. And Matt will always, even as a coworker, he will always be a hero to me for what he did on that day in that stadium, and that will never ever leave my mind, body, or soul. There's no question about that. I know people are excited about football this season as we are, again, 13 days out from it. Tom,
Dylan's got his first blue-white scrimmage tonight, so I get to watch his team. It'll be an inter-squad, but, it's a chance to see him on the field tonight. So,
well, I got a holiday for you.
All right.
You can partake in it either pre or post. It's National Bratwurst Day. We have time to cook bratwurst before or after Dylan's inter-squad game.
Maybe they pushed it back tonight because of the heat, so Bratwurst Day. That's
and
good.
It's National Kool-Aid Day. So
if I'm going to have bratwurst, I need to grill up some onions to go with it, let them soak in beer. The key to a good bratwurst, you got to boil them in beer first and then brown them.
Okay, well, now I know that. Also, outside of the holidays I just mentioned, Tommy back and Christian back on this day, I think it was 1948, the first Sports Illustrated issue came out. Any idea how much it cost?
Dime? It's a guess.
Close. What do you think, Big C?
Quarter.
It was a quarter, 25 cents.
I just went the next up.
The next up. That's a good guess. 25 cents. This first Sports Illustrated came out way back when.
When did the swimsuit issue first come about? I'm
sure.
going to guess it wasn't in the 40s.
I don't know if that would have been even allowed back then.
Yeah, exactly. It would have been frowned upon.
Little different times back then, but that was pretty cool. So, hey, really appreciate everyone joining us here on a Football Friday. Next week, we'll have actual high school games to talk about, already confirmed. Rex Nelson is going to join us next Friday. We'll talk some high school.
That scoreboard show on Friday nights for you to listen to.
Timed it up for him, so I'm excited to hear
And he
from
can tell
him.
us where to go eat. He knows every place
Does
good
he?
to eat. He knows every eating joint in the state now.
Okay. And I'm working on this. I've never talked to him publicly, and I know that the big thing coming up with Matt and others that will be inducted in the Arkansas Sports Hall of Honor, efforting a Felix Jones interview. I've had a chance to talk with Darren 2 or 3 times. Darren's my childhood hero, and the guy right next to him, Barney, was it Barney Flintstone and something Rubber? Who's the
and Barney. Yeah.
Fred and Barney. Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubber or Rubble, whatever his name. Yeah, Rubble. They dressed up back at Halloween. Felix was one of the most exciting players that's ever donned a Razorback uniform. I think we're going to get a chance to talk with him next week as well. So you got some stuff to look forward to next week, Tommy.
Well, that's cool. And, that Hall of Fame induction will be here for, that's right before the UAB game or the day before or the night before. It's going to be when they
12th, I think.
When they have that, I think it's the 13th because the game's on the 14th.
1964, first swimsuit edition, according to Jesse and Mountain Home. Thank you.
Championship year.
That's why they won, baby.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate everyone joining us here. Have a fantastic weekend. We're back for the final time on Monday in that 6 a.m. slot. Then the following Monday, we'll move to 9 o'clock.
Do you feel that, Arkansas? The Lotto jackpot is now more than $3 million. Why should you?